On this episode of the Star Wars Time Show, Matt is back and talking about his trip to Galaxy's Edge. But the dudes don't stop there as they dive into new Funko Pop and Black Series figures to collect, as well as breakdowns of the latest issues of Vader and the Rise of Kylo Ren. Of course, they break down the Clone Wars S7E4 while also speculating on how the new Ahsoka thread may play out starting in Episode 5. And finally, they reveal this week's top 5 Star Wars fan artist features, complete with a HeywoodPop shot breakdown bonus. Good sir, cue that music. From Galaxy's Edge, and I probably have COVID-19, and that intro was way too long, but I'm excited. I've been out of the pilot's chair for 2 weeks now, I got some energy built up. I've been quarantined since I got back from Galaxy's Edge, so I'm going a little stir crazy. Hopefully, you still have some eardrums left. I apologize, but I don't, because that's how we roll here at the Star Wars Time Show. Primetime edition. That's right, Matt and Nick, we're back. Taylor was here last week. She tried to take my seat. She tried to kick me the fuck out of the Falcon. But I've returned, and she graciously allowed me to sit back in my captain's chair. So, Nick, first and foremost, just wanted to say you guys were awesome in my absence. It was good to hear another voice on the Star Wars Time Show, in particular one that wasn't our dumbass voices.
Yeah, it was fun, and I had a little bit of revelatory conversations with Taylor. I had no idea her fucking favorite character was C-3PO, and it was a good time. It was.
That's what I mean. There's some good stuff in there. So, if you diehards didn't stick around for one reason or another, first off, cane yourself, right?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Kick yourself in your dick. Go ahead. We'll give you some time. Okay, done. All right, your ball's hurting a little bit? Good. Go back and listen to, what was it, 101?
Yeah, 101.
Episode 101. It was good. I mixed it while I was down in Florida getting ready to go to the beach, and they really had a nice little conversation. So I'm glad she was able to fill in. We didn't have to bring on someone like Sir Dork to forget his recording, and then Nick would just have to record the show again anyways. So it's all good, and I'm back from Florida. So before we get into the topics, as you heard from the bozo that announces them, there's some stuff to talk about, but I do want to kind of dish on my first ever visit to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I hit the one up in was it Disney World, Nick?
Yes, Orlando, Florida.
Okay, there you go. Florida's world, California's land.
Both of them are shut down now.
Exactly. Literally like 3 days after I was there. So more than likely, my family and I, we are carrying COVID-19.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost no doubt we have it.
We'll be having quarantine casts here soon. Matt's going to walk us through his symptoms as he's going through them.
I know. I mean, sometimes you guys, I think they think we're in a studio or something, especially when we have a really good sound and mix. But we're actually thousands of miles away. So we'll be able to, unless one of us dies, we should be able to continue the Star Wars Time Show throughout this pandemic, throughout the lockdown. So keep those motherfucking browsers and smartphones and tablets tuned to your boys at the SWTS. But anyways, back to Galaxy's Edge. So, all right, Nick, I did it the full day. Did everything. I was up at 4:45.
Oh, wow. Okay.
4:45, because this is what you have to fucking do if you want to ride the Rise of Resistance. We were at Hollywood Studios by, I think it was 6:30 in the morning.
Nice. That's a good turnaround time for a little kid.
Yeah, maybe 7 at the latest. We got into the park. They were letting people in right around 8, and then we hit the mass of people, dude. Like the people, the amount of motherfuckers waiting at the gates to get into Edge from Hollywood Studios was probably, I don't know, 300 people deep.
Damn.
As wide as the street, so I'd say at least 20 to 30 people shoulder to shoulder. And at 8 o'clock is when you can start reserving the ride.
And they only, how many boarding passes do they give out now per day?
I think it's like 90.
Yeah, okay, so they've upped it a little bit. All right. So what did you get? What was your number?
So check this out. I mean, literally, we're there in time. We're in the park. We opened the app right when you were able to reserve the ride. The first phone got group 61.
Holy shit.
And I'm telling you, it's within 2 or 3 seconds of it opening.
Yeah.
Second group got 90.
Oh, the last one.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'd say within 30 seconds, they were already on standby groups.
Yeah. Jesus, dude. That's so...
Okay, so, yeah, the rumors are true. You have to be there before the park opens. Literally, like, the doors to Edge weren't even open yet. So as soon as it's 8 o'clock and you can get into your Disney app and look at your wristband and all the people's names you have tied to that shit, you can get in there and reserve, but it still goes so fucking quick. So... whatever. We got secured, so I felt good. I'm like, shit, we got 2 chances at this motherfucking thing. Even if it breaks down, we'll be all right. Okay, so then we walk into the park, and that's when I get the first, like, you have made it to Star Wars on Earth. It's like I almost wanted to have a mass, like a Catholic mass to celebrate.
It is. It's like a reverential experience when you walk in, and boom, it just, like, hits you. It's crazy.
Ridiculous. And the crowds were fucking insane, dude. I mean, it had to have been 10 times more people than when you went in November.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you know all the tricks. You told me it was going to fucking suck. I knew it was going to suck people-wise, and you were 100% right. According to my mother that lives there and was a year pass holder last year, it was the most crowded she's ever seen. Hollywood Studios, and then the next day, the Magic Kingdom.
Wow. Okay, so that's
literally as people are dying from COVID.
Yeah,
Disney's getting
like,
great attendance.
If we're gonna fucking go out, we're going out in the happiest place on earth. So that's
right.
How
So we get in, we run in, just hordes of motherfuckers running through Batuu, and we went in. I would call it the long entrance. It's not the Toy Story entrance.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been to the park before, there's 2 ways in. There's one right from Toy Story Land, then there's another one kind of around like the Muppets shit,
yeah,
right?
the Muppet 3D. So that's actually, you would pass by the old Star Wars shop. It's still open, like the Tatooine Trader shop.
Yeah.
You pass by
you
that.
walk right by Star Tours and shit to get to the main entrance.
Yep.
So we get in, and everyone starts running, and I'm like, okay, they're running for the fucking Falcon. Right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
We had a fast pass, so again, the stress was kind of low on a lot of the big stuff. My mom hooked it up. We were staying on resort, so we got a little more access than other people.
Nice.
But we're like, hey, fuck it, let's. I wanted to see everything. So of course, the Falcon, in my opinion, is probably the biggest thing to see in the park. I mean, it's like, wow, this does feel like I'm on a Batuu.
Yes. Yeah.
So we get there, and the queue's already lining up. I'm like, shit, they got a single rider's line.
Oh, yeah. Single rider wasn't open when I was there, but they were opening it like right after we left or something.
It is the way to go, my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you can't get fast pass and you don't have a hard-on for sitting with your other group of people you're there with, you can single ride the Falcon, I'd say, every 15 minutes.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, there's no more than a 15-minute wait to single ride it. So we had reservations at the canteen at 8:45.
So that is the actual Oga's Cantina?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, dude, I did everything one can do at the park in a single day outside of whatever the fuck the Den of Antiquities is.
Oh, man. The Den of Antiquities, is that where they have the other, like, the named character lightsabers and stuff like that?
I would assume so.
Okay, so
because there was always a wait to get into it.
Wow, okay. Because that's where they sell, like, the holocrons, and it's like a big shop.
Yeah, it has to be, because you're right. Because, they're like, oh, you can get accessories for your lightsaber, but there ain't shit in Zavi's or Savi's workshop. They ain't dick.
No,
like,
yeah.
They're all in character, pretending it's, the fucking Jedis and this shit. Okay, so that's the only thing I didn't do. So I had reservations for it all. The cantina, the droids, the lightsaber, Falcon. We got the Rise. So I was set, right?
Yeah.
Perfect day. Okay, so we continue on. We did the single ride, roll over to the cantina. Now it's 8:45. Not the best time to be at a cantina, right?
It's all alcoholic beverages, or mostly alcoholic beverages.
Right. I mean, I got the blue milk with the cookie on it because that wasn't alcohol.
Yeah.
And, Charlie got one of the drinks that fizzles and shit.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I mean, it's definitely a cool atmosphere. I liked it. I did feel like I was in Chalem, shit like that. But it's still, I mean, you're sardine the fuck in there.
You
You're
are.
on a timetable.
You
There's
can't
really
move.
nothing. Yeah, there's nothing to eat. I mean, everyone's just standing next to each other.
I will say that when I was there, I was there with Taylor and my little cousin. She was 20, so she was not old enough to drink. And Taylor and I bought her an alcoholic beverage there and slipped it behind our back to her, and she had the whole thing, and we almost got kicked out. So that was my experience at Otis.
Oh, nice. So they actually figured out that you were giving her booze.
Yeah.
They didn't even check our IDs.
No, I mean, they didn't check me. I think they checked Taylor. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, I look so fucking old that they're like, yeah, he's definitely over 21.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, anyways, the canteen is neat. It was fun. It's just cool to walk into someone with a sliding door. You do get the immersion aspect, but outside of that, it's like, yeah, I could care less if I do that again.
Mm-hmm.
After Cantina, it was more just kind of wait and walking around. I think that's when we did kind of the market street, you know, where it's the little shops and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like the little sidewalk-in shops.
Yeah, I mean, I checked out they had that landing craft that's kind of next to the Falcon. You had Kylo ships sitting there. So we were just kind of walking around checking things out. And then I think up next was we had to go do the Frozen show back in Hollywood Studios.
Oh, yeah, so you had to leave.
Right, but after that, that's when we came and I did the little droid thing with my 3-year-old, soon-to-be 4-year-old, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a great experience. Again, just fucking packed. Luckily, we had reservations, so we didn't have to wait an hour. But it was fun, man. That's cool. You know, she picked a damn ball droid, though.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
like, the most basic in terms of the customization you can do. But she got her little all purple BB-8. That's what she calls it.
Yeah.
It's BB-8 purple is the name.
Aw. I saw it. I saw the video. You posted up a video on IG. I saw her playing with it. So, and then you made one too, right? There's two. Y'all made two.
No, we brought my friend's daughter who's 13. Like
Okay.
we just, you know, she's had some medical issues, brain trauma, this, that, and the other thing. And so she didn't get to go on her 8th grade DC trip. So we were like, hey, fucking Neve, you want to roll down to Florida with us? You're more than welcome. And she came and had a good time. But no, she actually built a ball droid as well.
Oh, wow. You don't even have an R2 unit.
That's what I mean. But I was like, I'm not going to do it because I knew a few hours later I was going to drop $200 on the fucking saber. So
Yeah.
I was like, it's good. I'm okay. But they're nice little droids, though. I mean, they're got good little motors in them. I mean, the ball droids seem to navigate pretty well.
Yeah, they work really
But
good.
again, just a fun process. A lot of the Galaxy's Edge, as advertised, is the immersion. I will tell you, there really ain't much to do. There isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're waiting in line or have a reservation, there isn't much to do. You could probably walk through Edge without any line standing or anything in an hour tops.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that.
For us, there's a lot to see, and there's a lot of like, oh my God. But like, if you're just going in to kind of walk around the park, yeah, it is. It's a relatively small area, and really your attractions are the Falcon, now Rise of the Resistance. You have Oga's Cantina, the lightsaber build, and then the droid build, and that's really it. And if you don't do the lightsaber or droid build, you're really only talking about 3 things you can do.
Oh,
there.
dude, totally. I mean, I'll get into my final review at the end here because there was some fantastic shit. So, you know, after the droid, more waiting around time, maybe dipping over to Hollywood to kill time, rolling through Star Tours just because you feel bad for them because no one wants to ride it anymore.
Yeah.
But then we come to the Savi's workshop. All right. Hands down, the best thing a diehard fan can do at Galaxy's Edge is building your own custom lightsaber.
Oh yeah, dude. So
It's not even close. I mean, I'm not to the Resistance ride yet. That shit is fucking magic. But in terms of the fan I am and an experience I wanted, what you get to do for it's maybe even 15 minutes. It's not very long. In Savi's workshop is fucking fantastic.
So
okay?
when you were there, when you first got to like the outside area, were they like still all in character and they're like, hey, don't let anybody know what you're doing here. This is, lightsabers are not an okay thing.
Yes, but not that much. I mean, trust me, I saw the character stuff. That Charlie loved that shit when they do their little skits or they just run across the park like Rey's getting chased.
Yeah.
We actually caught Rey and when she's trying to get behind the park and get to another location, but Charlie just wanted to talk to her and be like, and show her the little Rey doll she brought with her. But it is like the main Rey actress, the one that you see on a lot of YouTube, and she looked up at us like, "Oh, this is so cute." So, my kid's not going to go viral because I didn't put it on YouTube, but it was a fun moment. But back to the lightsaber build, dude, and you did this too.
Yeah.
It's just it's great, but it's almost someone like me that I almost have like an OCD when it comes to choice, especially when you have a clock.
Yeah.
It's not like you could just sit there all day and figure out the combination you want, because this is the way it goes if you haven't been there. You essentially pick from a kit. I think there's like 5 kits that define types of Jedi, like more defensive-minded Jedi, offensive-minded Jedi, and then there's a Sith one.
Elemental.
Like elemental, natural people. And within your kit, Nick, you have what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 5 or 6 pieces of the saber you get to customize.
Yeah, and then there's at least 2 or 3 pieces, or 2 or 3 variants of each piece as well. So lots of options.
Exactly. So like what Nick's saying, the hilt of your saber, you'll have 2 options. You can go A or B within your chosen Jedi or Sith way. Then the handle, then the switch, then the bottom of the emitter, then the top emitter. All right, so you're in there and you're doing all this. So you got this guy, everyone's themed out. It feels like you're in a Star Wars galaxy type of workshop. They got the music going. Yoda taps in. You got to put your crystal in first, and it goes like it's lighting up, and you build it. It is fun. And then we might have talked about this when Nick did it, but the ceremony at the end where like the little helper people, they take your finished hilt after you have it proudly displaying on the mount for the main Savi to come around and be like, talking a bunch of bullshit. It's like, all right, dude, I get it. You got to do what you got to do, but I'm almost 40. You don't have to pretend that you're in Star Wars. But anyways, they turn out all the lights. Yoda comes in and speaks to you through the Force. And then we all reach for our hilts, and these little glass doors slowly open, and they light up, and you're like, ah. It's like a real Knights of the Round Table moment.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to knight somebody. So it was fun. Like, that to me felt like the most Star Wars immersed thing you could do at the park.
Yeah, that is definitely the most immersive experience. I mean, the droid build is fun, but it's kind of chaotic. Like, it's supposed to feel chaotic because you're in like a junkyard.
Yeah, imagine being in the Ugnaught boiler room in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's basically
That's essentially what it is. Like, you just have fucking parts on a belt, and little kids and parents and other fans, and they're grabbing at them and trying to get to a station when their number's called to put it together with a screwdriver and this shit.
Yeah. So
but the lightsaber is much more calm. It is kind of zen out. I mean, they don't pretend that you're Jedi. You're essentially people going around scavenging shit to build these type of things. But when I got out, I'm like, fuck, I should have done this. I should have picked that one. Should have picked that one. So I'm already sitting here going, I love my lightsaber. I mean, I own Master Effects and all that. Your Force Effects now. Dude, these things feel so nice and heavy.
They are. Yeah, dude, they're weighty. And I've held like some of the Force Effects ones. Like, some of them are plastic. Some of them are like cheaper, like aluminum, really light. These are hefty. They feel well made. And
yes.
Yeah.
These feel like what a real sword maker would make a hilt feel like, because a hilt had to have a good counterweight to the blade. Now, obviously not a lightsaber, because the blade wouldn't weigh anything, but I'm talking like real swords. Like, the hilt would also have to have good weight, and that's what this feels like. I could swing it and fucking kill people.
Yeah. If you had a commensurate blade to chop somebody's head off, you could definitely do that.
Right. Like, I almost want to weld in titanium or steel, and this will just be my new beater, essentially. Instead of using a bat, I'll just pull this from under my bed and start whacking people with it.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Do you feel like the hilt is slightly too thick, though?
Yes. I've obviously never held an actual prop lightsaber from a film, but it looks like when you see anybody holding them that their hand usually wraps either all the way around the hilt or very close to all the way around the hilt. And
right.
These are a little thicker. Now, I mean, like, I don't have what you call big hands. I have like average sized hands for my body size. So I don't know. I mean, probably if fucking LeBron James holds this, he's like, yeah, this feels about right. But,
You know what they say about little hands, Nick?
yeah, I know. It's disappointing too.
Little hands, little feet.
They match up. They match up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think as a piece, it still looks good. Like, I think I'm going to display mine, saber out, and maybe mount it at one of my glass shelves with all my Star Wars Barbies. But it is a little thick, but it's not so bad that it looks like one of the janky-ass plastic ones you can get a little kid for $10.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's,
you know what I mean?
It's still a really good quality, like, you know, build of a lightsaber, but it's not what I would call, like, you know, some of these shops, these custom shops make, like, you know, sparring blades or like exact prop
it's not
replicas.
Screen accurate.
No,
is what I'm saying.
Definitely,
there's no way.
Definitely not. But it's a super fun experience, and it is a really nice piece of, you know, a nice.
Oh
piece
yeah,
of
it
Star
is.
Wars.
It's like I said, best thing I did. The one thing I've looked at every day and hold my hand like, yeah, that was pretty fucking awesome. That might have been worth $200. Probably not, but it might have been.
Yeah. So would you?
But
you said you would do it again.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I already told my nephews who are getting older, and even Charlie, I'm like, if we do this again, like if we're all not dead from the plague, we're all getting in here. Just, you know, lay out the $1,000 bill. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a good time.
Because it is pretty excellent, and I feel like I could make 50 of these things and still not be completely happy with the end result. Because I'm always going to be. It's kind of a FOMO, like, oh, I missed that piece. Ooh, this piece would have been better. What if? It's a fucking sickness.
That is exactly, yep. That's
yeah,
right.
It screws me on anything in life. Even the toy photography, still, it's like, well, I should do this, but what if and it's just like, overload, quarantine overload. I'm already starting to go fucking nuts. All right, so moving on with the rest of my Galaxy's Edge. Really, the next big thing we did was Rise of Resistance.
Yeah. I never did
got
that,
in,
so yeah, break it down.
Got in with Group 61. We roll in, everything's going good. We get into our car, everything's good. Really, where this ride starts is, I don't want to ruin it for Nick. But essentially, you walk outside after being shuffled around and some shit, and then you walk into kind of Leia's ship from The Force Awakens when she lands at Kanata's place to pick up Han and them.
Yep,
like it's one of those Resistance trans. You get in there, dude, and then that's kind of where the ride technically begins, even though you're not on the actual car yet.
Yeah.
Because you're in there and they're pretending like you're taking off and you're gonna go help the Resistance, and you're moving around. It kind of feels like Star Tours where there's LCDs on the screen and the ride's moving, so you feel like you're taking off and all this fun shit. But, you know, long story short, you get tractor beamed by the bad guys.
Okay.
So you get pulled into a Star Destroyer. And when you walk back out of this motherfucker, dude, that's when you go, okay, this is what Disney does. This is what Disney does really fucking well. Because you walk out, and they probably have a movie screen-sized LED screen like the Mandalorian shit.
Yeah, so they might have actually used the Mandalorian tech in this.
More than likely, but you walk out, and just based on the structure you're in, and they literally have probably 100 First Order Trooper robots. I'm guessing they're robots. There's no way they're real people that just stand there. But you walk out, and you literally see this docking bay window, and you feel 100% like you are in space on a Star Destroyer. And I can only imagine this is exactly what the hotel, the Halcyon, is going to feel like.
Yeah, yeah.
If that's the case, I'm still committed to spend my $6,000 for 2 nights, because I wasn't even on the fucking ride yet, dude, and I was just sitting there going, oh my God, this is surreal. Because you walk out, you're outside the park like you're getting on a ship. You pretend fly around, and you pretend get sucked in by a tractor beam. And when you walk back out and the First Order's like, hey, assholes, get in line, you're going to get interrogated, it feels what it has to feel like to be in Star Wars and be sitting in a docking bay of a Star Destroyer. It was unreal.
Yeah. So there's actual people there too. Like there's people like that work on that ride that are interacting.
Oh yeah. So like the ride people, they're all in their First Order uniforms. They're all in character, but there's probably 3 rows of troopers right when you get out, but they have to be robots. Like their heads twitch and shit, but there's no way they're real people.
Yeah.
There's that many. Like, you couldn't pay people to just stand there all day. You couldn't do it. There's no fucking way. So once you leave there, you go through another queue or so, and then you kind of get lined up where they're pretending to put you in an interrogation room.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when the ride starts. It's wild. Like, you're getting projections of Kylo and Hux, and then they pretend that the Resistance shows up, and they save you, and then that's when you get into the car. And when you're on the car, the ride then is about 4.5 minutes. And it's wicked, dude. I mean, I don't want to... People, you can go look it up on YouTube what the ride is. I don't want to spoil Nick because he didn't see it, but it was fantastic. I mean, it's full immersion. You feel like you're running away from the Star Destroyer. They got animatronics, this, that, and the other thing. Different paths depending on which car you get in on each ride, which I thought was pretty cool.
Okay.
So the first ride, complete success. I mean, it's a fantastic ride. It really is.
Yeah, people say that this is the best ride Disney's ever built.
It's the immersion level is just absolutely insane. I mean, like I said, if it weren't for riding around in these magnetic cars, you would feel like you were on a Star Destroyer. I mean, every aspect feels like you're there.
Yeah.
There's a little thrill here or there, like a little unexpected drop. But for the most part, you're just being carted around and looking at scenes, and shit's breaking, and you're rolling by turbo lasers as they're shooting out at the Resistance, so you get to see more space windows. So it's fantastic. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. We did the Charlie wasn't tall enough, so my mom was able to do this new thing they do where it's called like basically like sorry for your luck, you can go on immediately on the next ride deal.
Okay.
So we circle out. And myself and the girl we went with, we're like, all right, let's use my mom's pass. We'll go do it again real quick. We get on. Long story short, we're kind of halfway through the ride. All the lights come on.
Oh, no.
We're sorry, but blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're sitting there 10 minutes. We're sorry, but blah, 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 boom. And another 10 minutes. We're sorry, but now the park has to close the ride. Please stay in your seats. Someone is coming to get you.
Oh, shit.
So they had to, fucking all the lights turn on. The animatronics go limp and dead. You can see all the behind-the-scenes shit. And they had to rescue all of the active carts one by one. Like, they'd get us, we'd have to walk to the next one. We'd get them, we'd have to walk to the next one.
Yeah.
And then we ended up in, the bowels of the building that housed the ride. So we're, in office sections and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Our second ride broke down, and apparently this motherfucking ride breaks down every fucking day.
Oh, dude, it's not surprising.
If you only go there, if you're only going to Hollywood Studios for one day and it breaks down, you're fucked because they only give you a fast pass to come back that night or the next day to get on it right away. So they still have some bugs to work out, and apparently it's because of the animatronics. There's a lot of Kylo animatronic once the ride kicks off.
Okay.
And apparently he is part of the main bottleneck for why this thing keeps breaking down.
Is he just a super complex one?
He has various scenes. At one moment, he's on a bridge talking to Hux animatronic, and that's when it broke down for us. But if it would have continued on, the motherfucker's stabbing through roofs, he's using the force on your cars and making them feel like they lift up.
Yeah.
So you get the Kylo animatronic. He's in all sorts of pockets of the ride.
Okay.
But apparently it's their animatronics and lights get fucked up, and then that just causes the whole thing to shit the bed.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not surprising. I mean, with brand new rides, it seems like that shit's pretty common. I can remember that happening for Rock and Roller Coaster, for example, when it first opened. There were problems with that when it was shutting down all the time, and, it's relatively normal for new rides.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, if I didn't get my first ride, I would have been supremely bummed out and probably would have fucking stabbed somebody.
Dude, I will say that one time my friend was on Space Mountain, one of the oldest roller coasters in the park. So,
I got to do that for the first time too.
So he was on it, but when he went to get off of it, his seat thing wouldn't lift up. It was stuck. And they had to take him into the back like they did you guys. They literally had to take him into the back and remove, take the whole cart apart.
Yeah.
And they gave him literally, this is when they still had paper fast passes, a stack of fast passes. It was 40 free fast passes. And we could use it for anything. They were like...
Yeah, 'cause I hear the big score these days, if Disney fucks you over, is getting a hopper pass.
Oh, okay. They give you damn, that's nice. Those things cost so much fucking money.
Yeah, because a hopper, you can hit every park on property in a single day,
that's
right?
That's what we get when we go. We have the 7-day park hopper pass, which costs like $600 just for the ticket.
My mom said, like, if she wanted to go fuck with guest services, which would have been like the third time we had to fuck with them, because remember how I told you we got 2 different groups to start?
Yeah.
We didn't get everyone in the first group, so we went there, and they're like, oh, yeah, we can do that. So they did that and still kept our old group. But after the breakdown, we were just like, fuck it. We're not coming back here tomorrow. We're going to Magic Kingdom. Who cares?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think you told me this. Disney is still, and it may be the last place on Earth where customer service matters.
Oh, yeah.
And they fucking go above and beyond what they probably should to make assholes feel happy.
Oh, yeah, dude. Because I feel like at this point, they're like, does it really matter if somebody lies and says they have an anxiety disorder so they can, like, get in line faster? Like, they have weighed that. They've weighed, like, is it worth a potential PR thing?
Right.
Or do we just let this person fucking cut the line? Like,
I mean, like I said, we clearly fucked up. When we signed up for our Resistance rides, one app had all the names, the other one didn't for some reason. So that's why I was like, fuck it. Don't fuck around. Worry about it. Just sign us all up, right? So we got 2 different boardings, which was great, but we were like, hey, it would be nice if we could get the other people with us. And so we go to guest services. This guy's like, hey, fuck, no big deal. They pull out those magic iPads they have and fucking scan your arms and faces and shit. Yeah. They're like, bah, okay, done. We're like, all right.
Yeah, dude. It's
so in the end, Nick, we'll kind of wrap Galaxy's Edge. I've already taken 30 fucking minutes on this, but as a lifelong fan, I'm glad I got to go.
Yeah.
As a lifelong fan, I can also say that I have no reason to go back until the hotel's done, and I'm only going because of the hotel, because it's not like the park is going to offer me much more than I've already received.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those experiences to where, like, once you do it one time, you can say, like, I've done it, I don't need to go back again. For me, I just, like, I'm a repeat kind of person. That's why I've been to Disney World as much as I can. So I'll just go do everything again and still enjoy it as much as I did the first time.
Yeah, I don't think it's a park that you, unless, you know, you're trying to hit everything at once. You do not need a full Disney day at Galaxy's Edge.
No,
is what I'm trying to say. I mean, this is something you could do in a half day, depending on what you really want to see, and if you plan properly, like Nick said. I mean, the only reason I knew what to do is because Nick. I mean, he's a fucking Disney savant. He's like, listen, dude, you got to reserve everything as soon as you can. So if you stay on site, I believe you're allowed to reserve 2 months out.
Yeah, you have time.
So, you know, we did all that. But, I mean, outside of the times being spread out, I feel like, you know, within an hour, you've seen everything that Edge has to offer. It needs more rides. It needs more shit for kids. Kids get fucked in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, they're
like little kids. My poor little girl, the whole fucking day, she wasn't able to do a goddamn thing until the last ride we took her on our Falcon Fast Pass, and her and I piloted, dude. You should have saw that fucking shit show.
That's what I was gonna ask, dude. So in your Falcon rides, what roles?
The first one when I did single rider, I was like a jerk off engineer.
Oh, that
was
one
fucking
sucks. Yeah.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the gunner's pretty fucking dumb too. Seeing what they do, you just sit there and hit a button.
Smash the buttons. Yeah, that's what. You do.
Last one we had a full group, so I knew we were gonna get pilots, and I'm like, I'm getting one of the fucking pilot passes. I don't give a fuck, right? I was ready to fight my mom and my wife.
Yeah, that's what I did on my second time. I was like, look,
it's like there's no fucking question here. I get the pilot pass, and then Charlie's like, I want a pilot. I was like, hey, fuck it, why not? So we sit her ass again, not even 4 yet. We sit her ass in Han's or a Chewie's seat, so she has to control the up and down.
Oh no,
and hyperspace.
Yeah.
So I take Han's seat, so I'm doing the left, right, and other random buttons. Okay.
Yeah.
So we take off. And, you know, I'm going, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So piloting really is the whole entire ride. Like, if I let her do this, I'm going to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
So I had to, as far as my short arm could reach with the safety buckle on, I had to steer with my left hand and try to do the up and down with my right.
Oh, God.
Leaning as far as I could. We still managed to get one crate.
Nice. Okay.
But I've heard, like, if you have competent pilots, that ride goes on for much longer than it does if you have, me and my little buddy who couldn't even really fucking see the screen flying the thing.
Yeah, it continued. The more crates you get, the longer you go. I think the second time we did it, when Taylor and I were pilots, we got 2 or 3.
But I'm telling you right now, like, if I could get on there with a real pilot, I think that could be my favorite ride of the park. If you're a pilot.
Yeah.
If you're not a pilot, that ride can go fuck itself. Yeah, it's still fun, but it's not even close to what it feels like when you're piloting. When you're piloting with that screen right in front of your face and it moving, you feel like you're flying that ship, and that was great.
Oh, yeah. That's the best part, is like the moves that you make with the stick are the actual moves that the ride does. Like if you're flying it, that's how it moves, and that's
you're pretty much controlling the hydraulics.
Yeah, and that's
you got to hit the hyperspace stick. I mean, it was great. I mean, I don't want to sound like a negative asswipe, but I kind of felt what some people are saying. They're like, it's all the new stuff. There's not even a fucking sniff of original or prequel. And I got that. That's kind of crummy. Like, there's nothing in these parks from the 2 eras before when Disney took over.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a bummer. Like, even, I'm not even saying a ride, like just some fucking signage or something dedicated to what came before. So
I think what they said was they've built the park, and you can go back and read this in like the literature that Disney put out before it actually opened. They built a park in a way, and they built the lore around Batuu in a way to where what they plan to do is change the era of time in which the park is set at certain intervals.
Yeah.
So like right now, if you read the Thrawn novels, trilogy of novels, the second one is set in Batuu, but it's set during the prequel era. So you can go there and you can see Padme and Anakin, but then half of the book takes place in Batuu during the original trilogy era. So you can see Vader and all these people. So I don't know.
That'd be nice, but even that, like the one ride is fully committed to the sequels. Like there's no way you could doctor that up. You could definitely load in a new program for the Falcon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. For the Falcon, you could definitely switch it up easy enough. They've done that with, with Star Tours.
Star Tours.
So
there's like fucking 80 stories at this point. I still got the same one, the goddamn prequel one. Prequel one.
Oh man, no, I think I got the Resistance one the time that I went.
Because there's a new one, right? There's a new Star Tours experience too.
Yeah. They've added a new prequel era sequel era Star Tours video. I had that one where you're going through Jakku and you run into Rey and Finn and all of them. So
I don't know, overall, it was a hell of an experience. It was a way too long of a day, especially if you want to get there early to get the rides. I mean, like I said, I was up at 4:45. We left at 9.
Oh wow!
At night.
Okay. full day. Yeah.
Oh, dude, and like at this point in my life, theme parks, amusement parks, I can't handle it anymore. Like physically can't handle it. My feet and lower back were absolutely numb by the end of the day. And by Magic Kingdom Day, the next day, I was like, someone just cut off my fucking appendages.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I don't know if for me, because like I'm out of shape right now, but when I'm in Disney World, like it must just be that I've done it so many times since I was 10 years old that like my body like activates Disney mode. And like
it's not even... I didn't even find it like a shit. It's just the fucking standing around and like all the pressure on your joints, your knees, your ankles, your lower back. I played football as well, so obviously I'm feeling all that damage I did to my body when I was young. But I mean, the advent of the Fast Pass system at any type of park has ruined lines for me. Like at Magic Kingdom or even Hollywood Studios, we were trying to just get on other rides while we were waiting for the Star Wars stuff. And if it didn't say 30 minutes or less, I was like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I can stand in a line anymore for more than 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Can't do it.
I mean,
can't do it.
They've gotten better at making the lines a little bit, I don't want to say interactive, but at least a little bit more, like, visually.
Yeah, I mean, Disney always gives you shit to fucking look at. I mean, the Falcon, I've heard, like, one of the bummers of doing the Fast Pass is you miss half the shit to look at because you walk in right when it's Hondo.
Yeah, exactly. And then throughout the line with that too, if you're using that Disney Parks app in like the Star Wars mode, you can like scan cargo crates and there's like a little game
Yeah.
to play.
Okay.
when
So
you go
I'm
through.
glad you mentioned because I fired that up at your recommendation. I looked at it, I'm like, no, this is too much fucking
It's just,
effort.
yeah, it's like it's too much to do. I kind of felt like that too. I was like,
But it would be something. It's almost something you could dedicate a half day at the park to do.
Yeah.
And just get activity, walk around, and interact because. You basically play trivia, and it's almost like a goose egg hunt. You know, you're out there looking for shit, scanning fucking crates. Like, I was sitting down eating lunch, and I had these assholes, like, fucking scanning their phone over my shoulder to get something on a trash can.
yeah.
So, I mean, all that stuff's cool. It just, I don't know. I felt like they robbed little kids of most experiences there. That was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, really for them, the only thing is like the droid build. And then once you have the droid, there's like a little play area.
Yeah, I saw it's like the fucking Thunderdome for little kids and their droids to go out there and beat the shit out of them so they break them right when they get them.
Yeah. But
I think Charlie liked seeing the characters and when they would act or play out scenes. She got to see like the full deal where the actual Resistance character they made for the park. I forget her name. She's got the blue hair,
Yeah.
the black Resistance lady.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever the fuck her name is. So she got to see him do all that. But that poor little kid literally sat at that park all day fucking long and didn't get to do shit until 7:45 at night on the Falcon.
Yeah, I mean that is something where it's really lacking. But I know that if I know Disney, I know that they're already planning like what is basically phase 2 of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah,
They
dude. At this point,
yeah.
take over the fucking Muppetville. Fuck all that. That whole part of the park. Just take it over.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be what's eventually gonna happen. Is Star Tours right now is still outside of Galaxy's Edge, but what's probably going to happen is they're going to expand all the way up until Star Tours.
That's what I was going to say. That should become the new border of Galaxy's Edge.
And then eventually it'll wrap around to where that Indiana Jones show is too. Like that will also probably wrap up into Star Tours.
So I'm still interested in doing the hotel. That's something especially based on what I experienced with Rise of the Resistance. When you walk off that Resistance shuttle, dude, I mean, I can't wait till you experience it if we're all live the next time you go. But,
yeah.
that was an experience this Star Wars fan will not forget. All right, so I'm going to kind of speed us through some of these, Nick, just because we took 40-ass minutes to gab about me being gone, and I don't even know if we talked about anything entertaining. Hopefully you idiots that listen to us are still listening. If not, you're probably like, why the fuck do people talk about the Star Wars Time Show? This sucks. But anyways, we'll get into our news topics, starting with the Hoth Wampa Funko Pop Deluxe 40th anniversary figure. So what's happening here, Nick? You know, we've talked about this. Hasbro's doing it with Black Series. Funko's doing it with their Pops. But it looks like there are going to be 6 Empire Strikes Back Funko Pops. Mm-hmm. And if you collect them all, it's like you can, I don't know, almost staple them together. They'll create scenes.
Like
but the first one we get... Yeah, the first one we get a look at is the Wampa, and he looks pretty good.
He does. I like the bone. I like the coloration of his fur and everything like that. Yeah, it's fun. And I like how you mentioned the 6 on there. So if you scroll at the bottom of the post, that'll be in the shell on StarWarsTime.net. You can see the number 2 up. That is definitely Han with lightsaber cutting open Tauntaun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'd say the next one is probably Chewie after he blew up the droid.
Yeah.
371 is the droid.
Yep.
372,
that's hard.
Could that be Leia and R2?
It could be, yeah. I can see like the little Leia buns. I could see that being it.
And then 373, I'm guessing
Han
that's Vader and
Vader and Boba. Yeah, Vader and Boba.
So anyways, this guy is up for pre-order now through Amazon. You can get it through the post shelf for this cast episode, but if you're still in the Funko shit, something I am not. I'm fully over my obsession. I don't know if I told you this, but I've actually have since gone back and canceled my Baby Yoda Funko Pop.
Oh, wow. That was the one that you were actually kind of semi-excited about.
And I can't do it anymore. It's nothing against you Funko Poppers. Trust me. I mean, there's a reason I go by HeywoodPop on IG. I mean, it's a little loosey-goosey now. Yeah, it's pop culture. But it started because of fucking Funko Pop. So... I just can't get into it anymore. But these are out there. I mean, these do look kind of neat. I'm not going to lie. If I still collected, I'd be all over this shit. But these days, I've moved on to the much more expensive Star Wars Barbies.
There we go. And that kind of takes us into the next one here. It's not one of the expensive Barbies, but it is a little bit more articulate and usable than a Funko Pop.
Right, it's not just a piece of fucking plastic that sits there with a big shit-eating grin, right?
Yeah.
So this is another one of these Star Wars Black Series figures in the Gaming Greats series, which again belongs to EB Games GameStop. And this time around, when I was on the show last, we were talking about the Stormtrooper Commander variant from Force Unleashed. Mm-hmm. Well, now we are getting a Shadow Stormtrooper from Force Unleashed, and he looks pretty cool. Is that like a glowing stomach there, Nick? Like a translucent stomach, or is that like just the paint there and we don't have a great image?
I think it is. Like I'm looking as best as I can at this, and it does look like there are parts of his body that are translucent, like the stomach area that you mentioned. If you look at like his upper arm area right under his shoulder pauldrons. I
don't remember this enemy type at all.
Nope. I don't think that it actually exists. I think that they may have made this up, unless it was... Okay. It had to be a non-featured enemy.
I mean, we're talking a long time ago. Yeah. Like in my years, it's like ago. at least 50.
Yeah. So
and I was probably smoking something at that time and don't remember any of it.
You were definitely smoking something when you played this, I would have to imagine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean,
he looks cool, but the problem is we still don't fucking know where he's at. I mean, we got this from Yak Face. Anyone out there in Star Wars land that's worth their salt as a collector knows to go to Yak Face for Star Wars leads, but we still don't have street dates for this Shadow Stormtrooper or the Commander variant, which is odd, but these days, who the fuck knows? I mean, I don't even know if GameStops are open anymore. I've seen shit on my feed that GameStop management is like, listen, you got to buy your own fucking cleaning supplies and shit if you want to clean the store, because we're not giving you guys anything.
Yeah, that's about where GameStop is now.
They're telling them to keep the PlayStations on, where people can play games because vendors pay for them.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna fucking touch those things.
Yeah, keep touching stuff and spreading stuff, you fucking assholes. I mean, mark my words, and I hate this for the people that are gonna lose their jobs, but GameStop will not be in existence probably this time next year.
Yeah, there's no way. At least in the form that we know it now, they would need to make a massive business model shift to still be alive.
And they've been trying. I mean, you go into a GameStop now, they're like a little collectible store.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, who the fuck wants to go and buy games anymore?
It's like,
fuck it.
Physical retail is dying fast, and now it's dying even faster because of this.
I was gonna say, what's going on right now, Nick? This is going to speed along a lot of change. I think so, in how businesses are run, how people work. This could finally convince some corporations that, hey, we could probably save $20 million a year if we no longer have an office and we just meet virtually. We don't have to pay for air conditioning, electricity, none of this shit. And look, our people worked just fine from home when they were all dying. So, yeah, I mean, who knows what the world's going to look like come even this summer, honestly. I have no fucking clue. Shit's a little freaky, but we're here to try to pretend that that shit's not going on right now.
There are schools that have literally already committed to only online through the rest of the year, not just like the next few months through December. So
it's coming. I mean, I teach at a college. They canceled this week altogether, which I thought was fucking stupid. Like, why put people behind? But whatever. And then next week, students come back, and everything has to be online. And like Nick said, it's only a matter of time before they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, the summer semester, too, we're not doing in-class meetings. And I'm already figuring I'm probably not going to get to go on my beach trip in May. Who knows if I'll be able to go in August.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
I was supposed to go home in April. I canceled that. My mom was supposed to come down here at the end of this month. That's canceled, too. So life is fucking insane. But you know
right
what?
now I'm wishing I had some like iron in the house to lift weight, because I do like to work out still.
Yeah.
Pump some iron, get the blood flowing, not just to my little guy down there. I like to get the chest feeling a little tight. And I'm sitting here like, fuck, man, I go on Amazon and order dumbbells or something. I also feel like I don't have enough guns.
Oh, yeah.
Like if shit gets Walking Dead, I don't have enough guns to protect myself. So
yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to
Star
fake
Wars
life.
land.
Star Wars. So yeah, that's Shadow Trooper. When he's available, we'll try to let you know, but we don't know yet, so we kind of fucking suck at that type of stuff. You can always check out X-Clue magazine as well. They're a little more on the point when it comes to toy reveals and street dates and pre-orders, this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
So our game, that's Star Wars. And last week we got a cool announcement, at least if you were into this series on Star Wars Kids, but Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures is finally back, Nick. And these are those little shorts that would use a pretty wild anime in-your-face type of animation style.
Yep.
And they would tell, or they would retell moments from the Skywalker films, right?
Yes. So it's coming
and
back
they
now.
just kind of disappeared. They just disappeared sometime last spring, went away, and lo and behold, last week we got the trailer for them. They're coming back. And then we got the first 3 episodes released last Friday, and I think we shared them out on the site, so StarWarsTime.net. Always, you motherfuckers, that's where you should be going. If you bookmark it should be in your reading list. If you're on iOS, it should be tattooed to your face. Preach, right?
Yes.
Get Cryo out there. I like some of Cryo's new propaganda. Like, he's got himself in, like, preacher outfits and shit, reading from the Bible, speaking the good word of the Star Wars Time show.
Man.
Amen! Can we get an amen? But anyways, this is more of a PSA. Galaxy of Adventures is back. I think they're going to be dropping new episodes on Friday. I'll be either sharing them through StarWarsTime.net or our socials, so Facebook, Instagram, and our weak-ass bullshit Twitter.
Yeah, we have a Twitter. We barely use it.
But, they're still looking good. I love this visual style.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like, at least the 3 that released last Friday, I don't know if you just skimmed any of them, Nick, but it seems like these ones, they're not trying to tell existing stories. Because there's one where it's literally Rey, Poe, Finn, Chewie, and BB going on like a mission.
Yeah, so I think, we saw maybe one like that in the previous set where it's telling like in between little nuggets. Like it tells you like, oh, this is what happened in between this or something like that. Yeah. Rey and the Friends versus the First Order. That's that one that you were talking about. Kylo and Darth Vader was another one.
Yeah,
that was on there.
Kylo and Rey, they both got, so there was like one true short, and then Rey and Kylo both kind of got their, this is the light side person, this is the dark side person.
Yeah, so
videos.
Not necessarily what we saw most of the time from, I guess you would call it like season 1 of Galaxy of Adventures, where you're just seeing these iconic moments play out in this really cool visual style, but now they're giving you like a little bit more about the characters through this medium. So very, very.
And I'm still all over it. I would love mini versions of each movie at this point. Hell, you could redo The Rise of Skywalker at this point for all I care. I just watched it for my 6th time because it released early on VOD.
Yeah, you're ahead of me now. I haven't watched it yet since it came out.
I got you beat. Although I was nodding out while watching it, so that's a sign to me that I've seen it too many times. But I do want to watch that behind the scenes. So Nick and I have given ourselves homework for the next cast because I have a feeling that's probably going to be the only reason to get Rise of Skywalker if you don't want to wait for its Disney Plus release.
Yeah, the Disney Plus release, and then I don't know why you would want the physical disc version, but that's the 30th. And the physical disc version also doesn't come with that like full-length feature documentary. So
I want to check that out. There've been a lot of clips from it. I mean, it does seem to show us some behind the scenes of Tross, but also weaves in the past of Star Wars. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll make sure to watch that and have some sort of segment prepared, at least in a half-assed manner for you next week,
as we do everything.
One of us doesn't die.
Yeah.
We got to add that caveat now at the end of each promise.
Yeah.
If we don't die.
If we are alive for the next episode. So yeah, Galaxy of Adventures out now on Star Wars Kids YouTube. Go check it out.
That's right. So there's adventures on YouTube, but there's also some pretty cool canon being laid out in the comic book still. And as promised, we've stuck to our commitment to cover. Yes, I had to delay my videos for the Darth Vader #2 and Rise of Kylo #4 because I was down playing with myself in Florida. But I'm back, and I've got them covered. I got the video out for Vader, the video out for Rise, but we're going to start with the Vader here. So, Nick, Vader #2 came out last week, continued the story of Vader's search for Luke's caretakers, essentially. If you're new to this stuff, essentially this Vader 2020 run is covering canon that takes place after the events of ESB. In particular, Vader is on a mission to hunt down who made his son Luke weak. Like, it really pissed him off that he met Luke for the first time and considered him to be a weak pussy because he didn't join him.
Yeah.
So on this mission, at the end of issue 1, he was confronted by someone that looked just like Padme, and it caught him off guard. Well, now we figured out who this person was, and there was a pretty neat wrinkle to the canon with the character and what we're going to see her do with Vader. So to make a long story short, Nick, Vader, while looking for clues to figure out who Luke's caretakers were, essentially, who ushered Padme away to deliver the twins, and then where'd the twins go from there. That's what he's trying to find out. So he's on this planet. He fucks up some rebels, and then this girl appears behind him, and he's, again, gobsmacked. Like, Padme?
I thought I killed you. Yeah.
Yeah, like he can't get over, like, Padme? And we find out, lo and behold, it's motherfucking Sabe.
Yeah, so it's one of her handmaidens that would oftentimes pretend to be her in social situations.
Right, like one of the main, I think
Keira
Knightley played her in the movies.
Yeah.
It was one of her main handmaidens that would double her when she was queen.
Yep.
So anyways, Sabe she was looking for something too. And after, she shoots at Vader a few times and he essentially chokes her out like Padme, this is where I was just like, wow, this is a very interesting way to take this. But Vader, more or less, because again, you got to remember, Vader is kind of like, I don't know, some people in MAGA Nation where they believe things that are told to them from the Supreme Leader, right?
Yeah. He's
so Vader believes,
sycophant. Yeah.
Right, like Vader doesn't think he has anything to do with Padme's death. Like he blames it on the Jedi, this, that, and the other thing. So he essentially tells Sabe, like, listen, no, you're wrong. The Empire didn't fucking kill Padme. The Empire, she would have stood with the Empire if she lived. It was these motherfuckers that took her away to somewhere to hide her from the Empire. Those are the fuckers that ultimately killed her. And she's like, you know what? You're right. We could never find her after, the end of the Clone Wars and the Jedi betrayal. So Sabe is like, you know what? I want my fucking vengeance on these assholes. Vader, I'll team up with you. I'll share my knowledge about things on Naboo that I've been collecting to help me find Padme. So literally, issue 2 ends with Vader teaming up with Sabe to go to Naboo to find information on potentially who took Padme, as we know, to deliver the twins.
Yeah. Wow. What
I just find that to be fucking radical. Like, that's why these comics are so worth reading right now.
Yeah, I mean, nobody would have ever thought that a former handmaiden of Padme would end up being an ally, at least for the time being, of Darth Vader while he tries to hunt down,
Right. Like, he literally contributed to the death of her, essentially. I mean, Sabe is almost life bonded to Padme.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like she was born to be Padme's protector, double, this, that, and the other thing.
They grew up together. She's been by Padme's side the whole time.
Vader was able to gaslight her in like 2 comic panels to like, no, you're wrong. It is these fuckers that killed her, so help me find them and you can get your revenge.
Not even any forced manipulation needed, just straight lying.
No, he didn't use any fucking mind tricks, nothing.
Wow, okay.
But there's other good moments, but that was the one, like the canon edition, that really stuck out. I mean, the 2 fight together and she holds her own, and, Vader in a very Vader way walks out without even looking at her. He's like, you held your own well, shit like that. Very Vader type of compliment.
Nice, okay.
But he's just a man. Like, you can tell, and we get flashbacks still when he was Anakin, remembering Padme. So all that's still mixed up in this mechanical tear's mind as he's doing this shit, working over Sabe. I mean, he is such a pimp bad guy that unfortunately got a little fucked over with the prequels. But whatever. These comic books definitely portray Vader in the best possible Vader light.
Yeah, bringing him back around. I mean, that sounds pretty awesome. And, this is the one I'm reading Kylo and I'm reading Star Wars 2020, I feel like I just need to bite the bullet and read all
Hey, Nick,
three.
at this point, you're only 2 behind, dude.
Yeah.
I think you might as well get on it because the Vader stuff, especially because it's rooted right in between Empire and Jedi, like our era,
Yeah.
or my era. I know you're a big prequel fanboy, but
Oh, yeah.
my area of storytelling. So it's all, Luke shit, Leia shit here and there, Vader shit. So yeah, I'd say get on it. But as you said, the other one we're on is Rise of Kylo, which sadly came to an end last week with issue 4. But it was pretty good, man. I'll let you drive this one because this is kind of your bread and butter. You review these, where I more or less, my video on the Rise of Kylo was just like, hey, this was a neat addition to canon, and my moment in canon was essentially the fact that when Ben fundamentally made the choice to go dark, 3 distinct and iconic people in the galaxy all felt it at once.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big takeaway from this book.
I love that because it was essentially Palpatine as Snoke first was like, okay, yes, I can feel it. You're doing it.
Yep.
You're starting to do it. Then it was Palpatine, like, you're doing it. Then it was his mom.
Yep. And then
She was like, oh, Ben. And then Rey. Like,
yeah.
Rey's like, oh, I just felt a chill. And those are the little nugs that I like, dude. It's that little shit. It's all we needed were like little things like that. And I think a lot of the fuckery in Tross and this, that, and the other thing, the sequel trilogy, would have been like, okay, that was cool. That was a nice little connection. That was a nice moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fantastic moments in this book. I gave it a 10 out of 10 for my review because I really do think that this book encapsulates, like you mentioned, the fall of Ben Solo and the rise of Kylo Ren. I mean, that's exactly what happens here. And
it wasn't a like we talked before, at least me going into it, I thought this was going to be an easy choice for Ben. Up until the very end, this guy was feeling the pull to do the right thing.
He was fighting.
And it wasn't until Ren himself snapped the neck of Ty that Ben was finally like, you know what? Fuck all you motherfuckers. Luke thought I was a toy. Snoke thinks I'm a toy. I'm the motherfucking shadow. And that's when he, attacks Ren and essentially starts committing himself to becoming Kylo.
To the dark side. Yeah, I mean, that moment, there's a lot of really good moments in Kylo's story that you get to see here. Like, you get to see him use, like, the mind-reading trick that he does for the first time ever. Like, he even says it. He's like, this is Snoke's told me about it. This is the first time I've ever used it. You get to see that moment that you said where he makes that turn and then kills Ren.
Speaking about that, dude, I like how he described it as a different take on the mind trick.
Yeah, it's like a reverse Jedi mind trick. Yeah.
But, even after that, Nick, right? He was like, no, we don't have to fucking torture these fuckers. I can get it peacefully. And Ren's like, cool, whatever. He gets it, and then what does Ren do? Kills him anyway, and Ben's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, even as Ren said, he's like, Snoke was wrong about you. You are not ready to make this jump. And he wasn't until Ren essentially killed one of his former friends.
Yeah, killed his best friend at the academy.
Who was fighting Ben, by the way. Like, Ty was actively fighting until he was finally like, listen, dude, I'm not going to fight you anymore. Be who you are meant to be. And you could see Ben thinking like, man, what the fuck am I doing? I can never figure out what I need to do in life.
Yeah.
Everyone's always fucking with me. All these older people always telling me what I should be. I don't know what to do. And then Ren snaps his buddy's neck, and then that was kind of it. That's when Kylo's like, listen, motherfucker, you want a good death? Here we go.
Yeah, gives it to him. I mean, the other moment that is really big here is you get to see the bleeding of the crystal.
Oh, my God, dude.
That moment was so fucking sick. Because I'm sitting here thinking in my head, like, well, how does that work? And, does it just change, like, organically? Like, the way that Ben did it was so badass. Like, he takes out his blue crystal from his saber, essentially crushes it in his hand, infuses it with the dark side energy.
He literally bleeds it.
Yeah.
Like, when he opens his hand, he used the dark side so much that his hand is oozing blood.
Yeah.
And his blue crystal has cracked and turned red.
Yeah.
And by the way, the other great part about that moment, Nick, is it confirms that Ben Solo, a.k.a. Kylo Ren, loves hanging out with just pants on.
With no shirt, yeah. This
guy is a pimp. Like, when he's hanging out in his quarters, Dude ain't wearing a shirt.
Yeah, he's just ripped and shirtless and letting it all hang out. I love it. So I put 2 images from the actual comic into my review.
Yeah, that's the best one, man. That is Ben motherfucking Swallow.
Just
that is the beginning of Ben Swallow right there.
Yeah, I mean, and
that shot. I might even put this into the cast. I love that shot too when I saw it.
It's fucking sick.
The other thing, dude, how did you like to learn that Kylo's saber was Ben's?
Yeah, I did not realize that at first. It seems like all he did was like he may have like matted it black, because when you see him using it initially, it's silver. So he may have like.
I think that's from
just like the energy coursing through it.
Exactly, because you know how sometimes like when metal gets hot, it starts to turn black or chrome looking. So. But I love the fact, he puts in that cracked crystal and it's like, blah! He's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's like, okay, maybe I got to do something about this. So he just basically welds on those 2 vent tubes on the side, and it is his saber. So it's not like he went out and made a completely different lightsaber.
Which I just, as most of us were probably, he probably fucking made it, or Snoke made it for him. But now we know everything. Like, literally, Ben took his Jedi saber, bled the crystal, almost chopped his face off when he lit it, and then... MacGyvered the motherfucker.
Yeah. So another fucking badass Kylo Ren moment. I mean, it's only a 4-book run, and it's well worth it. I mean, it really does show you from the moment that we saw in TLJ where that fucking hut comes down on Luke, from that moment until he becomes Kylo Ren. Like at the end of that, I feel like they're going to continue this storyline, because at the end it asks him, you see a panel that says, like, what is your name, or who are you, or something like that.
I think I hope so. I think this is it though. Like, I mean, that was like implied. That's when he's like, I'm Kylo Ren. That's the main crossover. But I mean, this should be a fucking movie.
Yeah, dude. I mean, all of these villains in Star Wars, like, we only ever focus on the good guys in the primary Star Wars visual, stuff, like in the cartoon series, in the live action TV series, and in the movies. But like the villains in Star Wars have some of the best stories to tell. I mean, they do. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we can't say so much about Anakin Skywalker, but I mean the Clone Wars is a fucking fantastic story for that villain. But I mean, just imagine. Like, I even think Ren would be a badass live-action character.
Yeah, I know, right? Just seeing him. I mean,
he's fucking all swolled out, like he rolls around with no shirt on, basically at all times. What does he wear? Like, Ren literally has one tit hang out. Yeah. He's got like spandex. It's like he's wearing a singlet or something.
Yeah, it does, because you can see like around, like at certain points on his arm, it's like ripped, and you can see through his. It's really
it's
weird.
Hilarious. Like I want to get more on that guy. Like, why the fuck was he the leader of the Knights of Ren? What was his story? Why didn't he have to dress up like a black asshole?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
You can have an entire TV series, cartoon series, novels, comic threads, whatever, just around the Knights of Ren before they were under the leadership of Kylo, because it seems like that was a pretty long period of time where this guy, this Ren character was running that organization and just kind of going around and, recruiting members and wreaking havoc. Like,
hanging out with Snoke. Well, Palpatine, I guess. I still feel like Ben was still 50-50 even at the end in terms of, am I doing the right thing?
I think so too. And like you could hear him when he was talking to Ty in that book. He's like, this is the only path for me. Like, it wasn't like with Anakin, where Anakin was like mentally convinced, like, oh no.
Oh, he sold, like, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, Anakin sold out immediately. As soon as he made the choice, he's like, okay, fuck it. I'll kill kids. I don't care.
Yeah. He's like, this is the right way for me. Like, Ben the whole time was like, this is the only path. Like, I can't go back. There is no back. If I go back, there's nothing for me there. This is the only path for me. So it was
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, of course, Ben thought he killed his uncle. I mean, the worst thing Ben ultimately did before he became Kylo was kill Vo right at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he literally just fucking stabs her. He's like, hey, why do you even want to live? You can't be a Jedi anymore anyway. They're all gone.
Yeah, he kills her. And that's really like his...
Yes. To me, that was his first legit dark side move. Because even fighting Ren, yeah, I'm sure he tapped into it, but that was an easy kill for him to do. This one, he just killed her to kill her.
Yeah, that was the first like actual dark side death. So, I mean, it's a really good set of 4 books. Go get them. They're only $3 each. Well worth the read, especially if you're a fan of
well,
Kylo's
these days,
character.
don't leave to get them. You may have to get over your we still need printed comics thing for a while and just download them digitally.
Yes,
right? Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Practice social distancing. Believe in science. Yes, this virus may not be as deadly as others, but the motherfucker spreads like wildfire.
Yeah, and
that's the problem, people. That's why we have to stay home. It's not because everyone's dying. It's because people like me, who can be healthy as an ox and carry it, can go out and fucking kill like 55 old people.
Yeah, exactly. All it takes is for one person, young person, to touch an old person with it, and that old person is in serious trouble.
Get your digital ass comics in, at least while you can't go out and shop.
Marvel
Comics,
I
doubt
Comixology, one of those two.
Right.
Something.
All good stuff. Trust me, you will not be wasting your time with these 2020 runs. I mean, Rise of Kylo, Star Wars 2020, Vader 2020, get on it. And I'm probably going to jump on the Bounty Hunter and maybe even Afro once those load up, because I'm kind of addicted at this point.
There we go. Matt's fully fucking committed to.
You got it. We got to do
comics.
something, because I don't think we're going to get movie news for the next decade.
Yeah,
but luckily we still have the Clone Wars going, right? We episode 4 aired last week. It was called Unfinished Business. And Nick and I have been kind of asking, like, hey, is this just going to be the main story throughout? Well, we got our answer finally. It seems like the Clone Force 99, the Bad Batch story arc, has come to a close in Unfinished Business. But before we get to our, kind of what we loved about the episode, we'll go through some of the Easter eggs here. There were a few. I don't know if any were really fantastic, but there was a few. We got to see a 2-1B style medical droid at the opening bumper, helping Echo get back to some sort of normalcy.
Yeah, like at least being able to like move and function as like a human being. Yeah.
Right.
But the
next one was kind of foreshadowing, because Echo, if you notice, already had Bad Batch armor on. At least their little skull logo was painted on.
Okay. I have to go back.
When they're all taken off, we get to see a Republic consular ship,
Yeah.
the 3-engine deal that kind of became the basis for the
Imperial lander. Yeah,
not even the lander. I'm thinking Corellian Corvettes. No, that's the fucking Falcon.
Corellian Corvette's the Falcon. Yeah.
Like the Tantive 4, whatever the fuck that was.
Okay, yeah. Why?
The ship I'm talking about was the one that dropped off Qui-Gon and Obi on the Federation ship for negotiation.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
So we get to see 2 of those. We also got to see CIS core ships. That is the ball in the droid ships that we could see them on Geonosis when they were landed there right before the Battle of Geonosis, and then when they're taking off, we see one trying to lift out, and then the clones blast it down. But they were in like a whole different configuration, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Got to see some Vulture droids. Those are the walking Separatist
flying
ships.
Yep.
People that are playing Galaxy's a Hero, we got the BLT-BY bombers in there. Right, Nick? You farming those bad boys yet for your negotiator fleet?
Of course not. Wait,
yeah.
Of course not.
But those are they're the predecessor to the Y-Wing.
Yeah.
Clone Jet Troopers. Apparently, these were the first jet troopers, and they became the basis for the Imperial jump troopers as well.
Yes, and then
it was just nice to kind of see them in action, flying around and not flying into a cliff and blowing up.
Yeah, just exploding immediately. Yeah, that was fun to see. Ray Shields,
I
like this one.
Yeah, my favorite line in all of Star Wars popped up. Windu got confronted by Ray Shield, but unlike Obi-Wan, he didn't say one of the dumbest fucking lines in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, well, how could this happen? We're Jedi. We're smarter than us. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, Ray Shields, that was kind of nice to have in there. And then Trench kind of stole Grievous's line when Anakin walked in with the whole Jedi scum.
Yeah. Overall, dude, this episode
go ahead.
was really strong. One of my favorite moments, I know we like to do favorite moments here, was that Windu speech when they fucking landed, when him and Obi dropped down in front of all the droids. He gives that speech. He's like, I'm Jedi Grand Master Mace Windu. At this point in the war, I've killed over 100,000 of you B-1 battle droids. I'm giving you an opportunity to lay down your arms and save yourself. I thought that was so fucking
You know
badass.
what? Great minds think alike, because that was my number one
Oh, yeah.
note on my top list. I call it the Mace shit talk.
Yeah, it was so good. Oh my god, man, I love it.
I will say though, the voice actor for Windu sucks.
It does sound like kind of. It's weird. I don't know.
It sounds like a white guy trying to sound like a black guy.
Yeah, like I don't know if they changed. I don't know if the guy who played
Oh, there's
Mace,
COVID. Oh, COVID particles are all over.
he's going. This is the end of Matt right here. It's gonna be me solo for a bit.
COVID-19 for you and me. But yeah, dude, he doesn't sound good.
He doesn't sound like Sam, but you can't sound like Sam. Sam's got such a weird voice.
That's where I'd be like, hey, Sam, we gave you the fucking purple lightsaber, bro.
Can you give us a few
We'll probably cut you $1 million for a day's worth of work. Can you just come in and record some dialogue, bro?
Yeah, I want to see like who does the voice acting for him in Clone Wars.
He's one of the worst, because the voice actors on that show, in particular D. Bradley Baker, that guy is a voice god.
Oh yeah, D. Bradley Baker's fantastic.
He is the voice for every fucking clone in that show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I know like a lot of voice actors and their work and stuff like that. I don't know how they can change their voice to have so many different types of tones. And
But
sounds
the
and
crazier thing for him with the clones, they all still have to sound like Tamir Morrison.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part. Like, I know what you're saying 100%. They have like a million different voices. This guy literally has to put on an accent and then tweak that accent individually for every clone character that talks.
It's so fucking crazy. So
Because, you know, I mean, Rex sounds different than Echo. Echo sounds different from Hunter. Hunter sounds different from Tech, so on and so forth.
Just slight differences, just like very small differences. So the guy, I don't know, the guy that does the voice is Terrence Carson, and
All right, well,
he's a black guy, but I don't know. I mean, it does sound weird, like when he's talking.
he needs to watch some more fucking Mace Windu or something, because it every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's oof.
It's a little, it's definitely a little weird, but I
honestly, I think I like, what is it, Matt Lanter? I think I like his Anakin better than fucking Hayden.
Yeah, oh yeah, Matt Lanter as Anakin Skywalker is fantastic. I love the voice, because I mean, I don't want to shit talk Hayden, because I think that Hayden is a good actor, but Hayden's voice, like Matt Lanter's voice, has like a depth and a tone, like a deeper tone to it.
Oh yeah.
Which makes him sound more intimidating when he's speaking in the cartoon series. And Hayden's voice just doesn't have that like deeper baritone
it's
to it.
Rough and coarse and irritating.
Kind of like sand, yeah. Good call. But I mean, there was a ton of
Actually, while we're on Anakin, that was my next top moment. Again, people. That scene of Anakin Skywalker on Trench's bridge is vintage Clone Wars. This is how you fucking portray Anakin Skywalker. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker walked in pissed off, chopped off a dude's arms without thinking about it.
Yep.
And then fucking stabbed him out because he got shocked in the end. Like, he got what he needed to get by force. No fucks given.
Yeah, dude. Just that whole scene between him and Trench was so perfect. He's like, I'm going to get this information. Like, I just love the way that he got it.
Trench is like, oh, you're not going to do shit. You're a Jedi. And he fucking chops all his arms off.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm not that type of Jedi, essentially.
Yeah,
It's
like he literally said something like that. He said, like, I don't have those boundaries.
Yes. Yeah, like, I don't have the... Oh, dude. That is what I've been talking about, my friends. Like, if you've watched the Clone Wars, you've hopefully understood what I've been saying. That is Anakin Skywalker. That is who I wanted to see in the prequels. That is why I don't like the prequels. We don't get that guy. We get him once.
Yeah.
Once you get that. And it's excellent. Like, what Hayden does in that scene is excellent. But we get it one time in live action. In the Clone Wars, we get it almost once an episode.
Yeah. And this was the perfect one to I mean, this is basically like getting you reacquainted with where Anakin is in terms of his, his light side versus dark side status. And like when he killed, like he just straight up murders him. Like, this isn't in the heat of battle, nothing. Like, he gets the code, and then he just murders him because he got shocked. Yeah, and that was it. I was like, wow, that's the fucking Anakin.
It's great. It just, like, his tone, his arrogance, the anger in his face, like, you can see that this guy could become a Sith Lord.
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic.
Not once in the live action or in particular, Revenge of the Sith, did I see Anakin as someone that could do what he does at the end of the movie. No.
It was just, it just, if they would have continued from where he was in that moment in AOTC, then he could have gotten there. But, like, they didn't. They just, like, that happened.
You were exactly right.
Yeah, it's just like that happened, and then they almost, like, George was just like, okay, well, that's what you get, and then he just kept being a Jedi. Like, the only things that you would ever hear.
Yeah, he went back to, like, pretending to be good. And I'm not saying Anakin in Clone Wars is inherently evil, but he sure as fuck allows himself to slip in and get a little funky when he wants to.
Oh, yeah. And
I mean, there's episodes in seasons 1 through 5, the motherfucker's, like, fisticuffs with people for looking at Padme.
Yeah. Like, literally
ready to chop people's heads off with his lightsaber for looking at her.
Yeah. I really enjoy, Clone Wars Anakin, and this is, you need to watch it.
I know people get on us, or me in particular, about my dislike of the prequels. And it is fundamentally because of Anakin. There are parts I enjoy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can watch the prequels. I still think TPM's fantastic. I just the way Anakin is portrayed and shortchanged, it just his turn just is unearned beyond belief.
Yeah, and like I said this before, but, like, episodes 1 through 6 of Star Wars should just be subtitled the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker, and really, in 1 through 3, you don't get enough of that. You don't get enough of the tragedy behind his fall. And it's only through the Clone Wars that you really kind of get to see what the fuck is, like, where his mind is. And, now with Ahsoka kind of coming back into the fray in the next episode, if these two hook back up, you'll get to see even more of that relationship that kind of breaks that.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Nick, I think I've come to the revelation that I think I'm able to be a bit softer, and the prequels don't rub me so hard anymore, is because of the Clone Wars. I've just come to accept, like, that those are my stories. That's my Anakin.
Yeah.
And it lessens the blow of the letdown of the live action, right? All you people that were, feeling sorry for yourself over these Disney movies because they didn't go the way you wanted them to go. Do you understand how I feel now? Is it okay to be angry about the fucking prequels?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
I wanted them to be just as fantastic as we all wanted these new movies to be. I'm not just some fucking troll. I'm so angry because of what happened. Like, I just like all you get it? It just like all of Star Wars is cyclical. So is the fandom.
Yeah, so if that's the case, we should be having the next, live action series of movies that come out. They should be pretty fucking good, because it's, it's about time we have another OT on our hands.
If they wait long enough, there'll be a generation at the right age to fucking hate all the other stuff and just like that. So
I think it's going to be an easier time. It'll be easier to make the new stuff likable if they actually do go the direction that we thought they would.
Yeah, you just let fucking Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau do it all. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the fact that Disney's still bumble fucking around over there, like, oh, what should we do? Oh, what to do with the movies? Well, you got two guys that worked with some girls and some other people that made something pretty fucking fantastic that a lot of people dug that don't even like Star Wars.
And now,
Filoni
is continuing to make this content with the last season of the Clone Wars. Like, the fact that Filoni, him as a human being, worked on Mandalorian and then had that finish, and then, like, 2.5 weeks later, had an entire other project that he had been working on as well come out, is insane. Like,
no, dude, he oversaw Resistance too.
Yeah.
I mean, indirectly, it's not like he was there, but he was still the head.
yeah, I mean, this guy is.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling that they just don't let these fuckers run with shit. But whatever, maybe they don't want it. Maybe they're like, fuck it. We found a safe space in Star Wars, and these days that is like diamond real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to walk away from that shit. I just saw a tweet today talking about James Gunn basically saying he wants absolutely nothing to do with ever directing a Star Wars movie. And I know it's probably not from a place of like, fuck that nerdy shit. It's probably from why at this point.
Yeah, it's like, why like put myself in the line of fire, basically.
I mean, Mike Zero's dumbass, like I still get recommendations from him whenever I pull up YouTube. It literally has been railing on Rian Johnson still. Like, the new CEO fucking hates him, gonna fucking fire him, it's over, it's already fired, he fucking owned him. It's just like, man, this Mike Zero Joker, like, what a fucking tool.
Yeah, I don't know. I never got into his shit.
So yeah, why would
idiot.
you want to direct? Why would you want to direct Star Wars at this point, unless it's a golden franchise, which is the Mando, and that's it. And Clone Wars clearly shining again.
Dude.
So back to Clone Wars. Sorry, everyone. I always get excited when I talk about Anakin because I love the guy. I mean, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker is Star Wars. It is. George Lucas has said it himself. It is the story of Anakin. Anyway, so after that Anakin scene really kind of stole the episode for me outside the end because that was pretty touching. But you had to love, Nick, the game between Wrecker and Crosshair and what each of them does. So you got Meat Boy, Meatball Head, fucking Juggernaut, literally just plows people over.
Yep.
Then you got Crosshair, plants all these essentially mirrors or whatnot in strategic locations, waits for a whole platoon of B1s that comes through, and then essentially plays ping pong or pong all the way down the hallway and takes them all out.
I loved it because when I first saw like Crosshair going down and throwing shit on the wall, I was like, are those like little bombs that he's like setting up? And then one time he threw it and they allowed the camera to catch a reflection. I was like, oh shit, like he's gonna ricochet some of this crap and try to kill him like that. Yeah, that was fucking fantastic. I loved it.
But I just, again, Wrecker shines. I mean, he gets his moment. I love that Anakin remembered to grab the self-destruct.
Yeah.
And then gave Wrecker the opportunity to blow it up. And it just made him so happy because he's kind of like I would imagine on an IQ rating, there's a rating that's literally it's described as dull. Like if you're in the range, you're in dull.
Yeah.
Which is like one step above being slow, special. I mean, he's so simple, yet you can tell he cares, but he also has a passion for fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And if we never see him again, I love that guy. I loved Wrecker. I mean, I loved all the Bad Batch, but Wrecker in particular, and the way they did him, and the way the lines they gave that guy, I loved him. I loved him.
It's just you could see the IQ scale, and it's basically from Wrecker to Tech, and that's your clone IQ scale.
Totally.
And I also just love the way that that Tech interacts with Wrecker. They don't interact very too often, but when they are, it's always Tech basically talking to him like he's a child. It's just
like he's an oaf. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you got the competition between Crosshair and Wrecker. So I thought the Bad Batch were awesome. And so my last moment clearly is when Echo does make that choice to join him.
Yeah.
I thought it was perfect. I love that end shot with him and Rex, and they salute the captain. So just a fantastic episode and a great close to a pretty awesome little arc for clones, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we know that, like Matt and I were talking about kind of leading up and through the first couple of episodes of the season, are we going to have an arc structure like we did with, the original Clone Wars series, or are we going to have this one continuous storyline play out? And it does look like with the end of this, with the end of Unfinished Business, we are going to have at least a semi-arc structure in place. So super excited for the next one. And we got a trailer for that.
Right. So Ahsoka's coming back, everyone. Whoo! Gone with a Trace is the episode. We got it. It wasn't even a clip. We just got a full-on trailer because obviously she deserves one. I mean, Ahsoka, I think, could be one of the biggest fan favorite characters out there. I mean, this is Filoni's
creation.
Yeah.
I
mean, he went on to create other canon characters for Star Wars that we know and love now, but this was his baby when he was still literally working under George, and George was all in control. This is what George allowed him to do. I mean, it's huge. I mean, he gave fucking Anakin Skywalker a Padawan. Who would ever thunk it?
Yeah, never in my life, having seen the prequels and then the original trilogy.
And I can tell you, dude, I don't know if you remember this or you're even old enough to give a shit, but when it was announced that they were doing the cartoon in general, people were fucking pissed.
I remember, yeah.
And then when they found out that Anakin was getting a Padawan, I mean, they're going to riot. So, I mean, in the end, we all fucking suck. We've always sucked, and we will continue to suck. Just keep making the fucking movies.
Oh, man.
So we can keep sucking. But anyways, I love that Ahsoka's coming back. As you said, I'd say it for at least the next 4 episodes, 3 on the short end, we are going to get caught up with the Jedi that essentially put herself in self-exile. She's going to be hanging out down in the underworld of Coruscant, where she's going to kind of meet up and befriend a pilot called Trace Martez. But then Trace's sister, Rafa, is going to get her mixed up into some sort of droid building. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of a synopsis of what we're going to get in with episode 1. So I'm just guessing we're going to get reacquainted with Ahsoka, meet these new characters. Ahsoka's going to kind of be ingratiated with them. Something's going to happen that Ahsoka's going to have to look awesome, but she's probably not going to tell anyone why she's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, this is essentially her introduction to the underworld and probably, her first step towards Fulcrum, like becoming Fulcrum in Star Wars Rebels and this huge underground resistance leader and stuff like that. So, really cool. In the trailer, it is funny because they're like, do you have any tricks? And she's like, I guess you could say that, or something to that effect.
Well, yeah, she's fighting her like, where the hell did you learn to do that? And she's not going to tell him. It even says it in the write-up. I mean, she's going to keep her Jedi stuff a secret. But we do know at some point in time she is coming across Anakin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kenobi, the clones.
And then
so is this 11 or a 12er season?
I think it's 12. And then we also know that she makes it she ends up on Mandalore.
Oh yeah,
she's going to be traveling a bit.
Oh yes. So like I said, this is probably going to be a 3 to 4 arc with Ahsoka and these new characters, just establishing Ahsoka as a Jedi in exile. This is what she's doing and what she's up to. She still kind of feels the pull to help people, essentially.
Yeah.
Then we're probably going to get another 3 to 4 where she has to link back up with the Jedi for some reason. I think you're
going to have an arc convergence once she gets to Mandalore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna meet.
But it's going to form its own arc from there. But you're right. It's not going to be a hard cut like what we're more than likely going to get now. By hard cut, I mean when episode 5 airs on Friday, it starts right with Ahsoka. There's no even 10-second scene about the clones coming back to Coruscant or something.
No, yeah, this is going to be all focused on Ahsoka. No,
where this going into when she links up with the Republic again, I think, like Nick said, could potentially feel more like, all right, this is a direct continuation. I mean, this arc could literally be the rest of the season.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, legitimately could be now that Ahsoka's back in the
maybe
fold.
They save the last 2 for just Ahsoka on Mandalore.
Could. I mean, that would be an interesting way to end this one out, is if that is where, her confrontation with Maul happens, is
right, because that was the big money shot in the trailer was their showdown.
Yeah, and it makes sense it would make more sense to have Anakin and Ahsoka meet up while Ahsoka's still on Coruscant than having Ahsoka go to Mandalore, and then it would make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Then Anakin also gets called in because Darth Maul is here. What the fuck? And then they all come back around and they find Ahsoka, and
Well, I honestly think the Mandalore stuff may be happening right at the change.
Yeah.
Timeline-wise, in terms of, like, the Empire is literally popping up.
Yeah, like right between.
Revenge of the Sith is almost over when... That's what I'm hoping, at least. Like, the last episode or two of Clone Wars' final season is actually going to be kind of a mini sequel of sorts to Sith.
Yeah. That would be really, really fucking interesting if they did that. But we'll see.
You're right. I mean, Anakin's not getting mixed up in this shit. Right now, he's essentially embroiled in the battle over Coruscant, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Which is then going to turn... And maybe that's why they get linked up again. Maybe when the fucking Separatists all show up. That's what it's going to be, dude.
Yeah, when the Separatists show up.
When all the Seps show up, I mean, even Ahsoka's probably going to be like, oh, fuck, I should go.
Yeah, because
I have to help, because she's going to feel compelled to defend these people now, the underworld.
Yeah, like we never get to see if there was actually a ground invasion of Coruscant by the CIS. All we see is what's happening in the air.
Well, in the Gennady ones, there technically is, right? Because that's how they grab.
That's how they grab Palpatine. But yeah, so in the actual, like in the film and then in
canon,
the rest of it, canon. Like there was no known ground assault. But now that we saw, Ahsoka with essentially her own squadron of troops in the original trailer for the new season of Clone Wars, you assume that, like, she may be taking these clones down to the underworld to defend against some sort of CIS invasion. So,
right.
Could be fucking cool. We'll see.
I don't know. That's kind of what I'm going to lean on right now. I'm going to say the way she gets mixed back with her buddies is through the Clone War.
Yeah.
Coming to Coruscant in particular.
Yeah, makes total sense.
The Mandalore stuff is still interesting to think about. I mean, they're either sending her with Kenobi because he had a ton of threads on Mandalore, or she's going to be on her own, and it truly will either be directly during the Battle of Coruscant or soon after the fall of the Republic.
Yeah.
Like immediately after, if not while the Republic is crumbling.
Yeah, like during Order 66.
Exactly.
That would be really cool. I really do hope we get to see like a time jump like that to where we see what happens to Ahsoka during and post Order 66. Because that's a huge thing.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
you have to show Ahsoka through 66, so that's why I'm saying I think we are going to get either a concurrent or a slight sequel-ish story, just Ahsoka to Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, so...
There's another one, motherfuckers. Take that one to the bank, too. Cha-ching! I'm throwing them out left and right tonight. It's because I had a week off.
He's hot. Matt's coming in with all these ideas.
Boom,
Everything
boom,
is fresh.
Boom! And the best part is, if you've been listening to the show for any amount of time, you know for a fact none of them will come true.
Probably not.
Because I pride myself on missing by miles.
Yeah. That's what we do.
I have good feels on these. I have good feels on these ones. And I haven't cheated it and looked at the unfinished episodes, by the way.
Oh, okay. So you stopped looking at that. Okay.
Yeah, I actually never watched those. I'm glad I didn't want to watch them. I think it was during my ban of all things Star Wars still. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't watch them.
Yeah, you specifically called them out, and you're like, they were out there, they exist, but okay. Yeah.
They're up on StarWars.com. I mean, it wasn't like some asshole stole them. They're like, fuck it, we're probably never going to do it. Here, look at this unfinished show.
Well, there it is. Now it's getting fucking finished. I didn't watch them either, so I have no clue what's coming next.
But I've heard, through the grapevine that it sounds like Ahsoka's thread might have been changed a bit, at least the underworld stuff and the people she meets.
It probably had to be changed just due to the fact that her character continued in Rebels. Like, her character found a home and an arc through Rebels that required her to be in the underworld at some point. So,
I can't wait. I'm excited
shit.
for this one, and it will be I'll be slapping down the videos on Friday from self-quarantine day 7 or 8.
Gone with the Trace. On Friday, I actually will be at 1:00. I have my intro walk to my new home. So,
so he's definitely gonna get fucking the virus.
Yeah. So everything is still going on plan with that. I also have other obligations at that time too, working. I also have the intro walk, so lots of shit happening for me while I'm under work from home lockdown. But you know what? I'm glad we have Star Wars content. For those of you out there who want to see Tross at home, like Matt mentioned, they dropped the movie early on Vudu and digital, so you can get it there. You have the Clone Wars content to watch. You can also get the whole Skywalker saga now. There's the bundle out on Vudu. You can buy that. And then if you're just a fan of Disney, Disney gave you another present. They've released Frozen 2 early on Disney Plus. So if you haven't seen that yet,
we owned that on Vudu weeks ago.
There you go.
The kid today, literally, because we're keeping her home too. What's the point of sending our kid to daycare?
Oh no, that is like a fucking disease fest.
Like the daycares, they're all like, "Hey, we're still open." So I'm like, "Fuck off!"
It's like, no, you're a psycho.
I mean, if mom and dad have been told to stay home, then kid's not going there either.
No.
But I mean, then she has to mill around our workstations and. Today she's down here, started Frozen 2, and then rolled back into the classic Frozen, all on Disney+.
I saw Frozen, the original one, for the first time this weekend. I have not seen that movie until this weekend. It was pretty good.
It's not bad.
Pretty good. So
I do like Frozen, I'm not gonna lie, but it's mostly because of my kid, and now I have kid and music memories, and I get all fucking emotional and shit.
Yeah.
Like we did the Frozen sing along at Disney.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that.
You literally pack into a theater. We were all spraying COVID-19 on each other, but we all sat there and sang fucking Frozen songs.
That's literally
like motherfuckers, dude.
The worst place you could ever be in a pandemic.
Oh yeah, we're all enclosed in a theater, and we're like, let it go, let it go.
Oh man,
and it's just like, oh, we're gonna die, but I guess my kid's having a good time.
Yeah, Matt, everybody listening now, that is where Matt caught the plague of the 21st
Oh,
century.
100%. Like, I'm not, like, I fuck around, but I'm not. I mean, I got in a plane like an asswipe, flew to Tampa, which already had confirmed cases, so got it immediately once I hit that airport.
Yep.
Then, from there, went right up to Orlando, spread it at the hotel resort, started the day at Galaxy's Edge, shoulder to shoulder to probably 1,000 people. So it's just like boop, 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 like ninja running over all our fucking heads and faces and jumping into our orifices. And let's be real. I mean, Disney World is an internationally visited theme park. This was before all the fucking bans were laid down, too.
Yeah.
And they closed the park 3 days after I was there. So
that is a card-carrying member of the COVID-19 club.
It's hard times. Like, is that shortness of breath, or am I just going fucking crazy?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, what a world to be alive in, my friend.
Here we
are.
But
at least we got new Star Wars and the Clone Wars and shit like that. And we have everyone's favorite segment of the Star Wars Time Show. I'm talking everyone. Grandmothers, grandfathers, dogs, cats, goldfish, trouser snakes. Everyone loves the Star Wars Time Show Top 5 Star Wars fan artist features of the week.
The top 5.
The top 5. The top 5, that's right. But before we get into that, I like to do the new little pre-top 5 mentions, if you will. These are the, people interact with us now. It's weird. I still don't get it. I don't know why anyone would want to listen to us. Although, Nick, I'm not going to lie. When I flew down to Florida, I didn't have an episode of Stern saved.
Yeah.
But I do have our show. Yes, I am vain. I download our...
Matt is
I subscribe to our show on iTunes, and it automatically downloads new episodes. So I caught a new episode. I rarely listen to full episodes. I listen to plenty, trust me, because I mix all this shit. But I listened to a full episode, and considering that I was the one that talked on a lot of it, and I've already had the conversation in my head, when I listened to it, though, I didn't feel compelled to immediately turn it off and stab my ear holes.
I know, right?
It's not that bad.
I put on the episode with Taylor and I 101 when we were driving home in the car. She's like, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen to myself talk. I was like, look, I used to listen to all of our episodes because when you do that, you get to find little dumb shit that you do, or you get to tweak yourself
and clean shit up.
You find ways to improve your speech and whatever you're doing while you're podcasting.
I mean, ask Nick. At the end of every show, I almost go like, "Oh fuck, I felt like I was slurring or sounding like an asshole there. I had a lot of spit in my mouth at times. I fucking blow."
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's just the side effect of talking for almost 2 hours or over 2 hours on a podcast. Like, shit like that will happen. But yeah, I mean,
that's the other thing. Do you even at the end of the show? do you even remember what the fuck you said?
Oh, most of the time I don't. Like, I'll listen to it and be like, oh, God, I didn't even fucking realize that.
There are times I get little panic attacks. I'm like, did I say something that could get me fired? Like, did I fucking say the wrong thing at this point in time finally?
Yeah, it's a minefield when you're talking for this long about...
Yeah, you just don't know. You don't know. Because I heard Howard talking about, he's like, I'm on the air for 4 hours. He's like, I have no clue, and I should not be responsible for what I say on the show.
No, yeah, it's different. If you're doing
he's like, I'm just riffing, and that's what Nick and I do. It's not like we have no notes. All we do, we have a few articles pinned up, and then we just word vomit after that. It's like blah, 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 blah. So anyways, speaking of getting out some words here, and that's the first time I did speaking of. So as Nick was speaking of, when you listen to the show, you try to eliminate some of your bad behaviors, and mine, the biggest, is my transitional, and that's speaking of, dude. Speaking of. So anyways, before we get into the top 5, I do have a few mentions from the people that do interact, and please keep it coming. Emails, DMs, hit it up. We're thinking about some new things. We've got some ideas from the fans. I think it was Sir Dork recommended that I'm going to critique one of my shots again on this show because Nick's doing this new rotation with honorable mentions, and then Matt makes fun of himself. But Sir Dork's like, yo, dude, I would love it if you would break down one of my shots. And I'm going, ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, we do that every week on the top 5.
But like actual, like a critique.
Okay.
Like how I essentially shred myself and, want to go jump off a bridge. Like I think he was implying, bring it, give me a fair criticism.
Wow.
Don't be a jerk off, but bring it. So, stuff like that, or I think we're getting to the time where we might be able to do a Ask Us Anything again, where you guys submit questions and we answer them on an episode. But stuff like that. I mean, we'd like to get everyone more involved. I think that's the best way to build the community, spread the community. Nick and I essentially want to be kind of like COVID-19, but not a shitty fucking virus.
Yeah, not killing people.
Yeah, we want to be the COVID-19 of Star Wars podcasts in terms of our spread and our reach.
Yeah, I like that idea. So we'll have to have conversations about this break down my shot.
I think we actually have a channel in Slack, called Fan Suggestions.
Yeah.
There we go.
So we can riff on that a little bit.
Spencer, Baron's Black Series, he submitted a monthly feature of top custom figures.
I saw that one. I like that idea.
Which was pretty cool.
Greg, you submitted an idea for a fan submitted top 5.
Submitted top 5.
And the first thing I said was, we're not doing that.
Yeah, Nick shot that down. Like, you gotta remember, everyone, the top 5 this is Nick's segment. This is his domain. I walk on eggshells even now when I'm doing the mention segment before the top 5 because I feel like he wants to reach through the mic and step on my balls.
Look, man, top 5 is a segment of integrity, Greg. I've said this multiple times. You can't just open it up to the fans. It's going to be a free-for-all, and all you're going to do is vote for yourself all the time.
It would be bedlam.
It would be.
Here's what I said. I just said, not sure how that would work, and Nick's like, not doing a fan-submitted top 5. And then I replied with a laughing emoji.
Yeah.
Like, yep, you got it. But I think Jared of like having me critique shots like I do my own would be fun if they're up for it.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna do that, what we would do is we would source basically one artist a week. This may not be how it works.
They would have to be one. They would have to want.
Yeah, you have to want to do it.
You would have to volunteer. I'm not just gonna pick shit and be like, because if you wanted to do that, I would just pull up our hashtag every day and be like, look at this shit people are tagging.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be a fucking asshole.
No, don't do that. Like, we would have to be in it would be one artist a week. We would be in contact, and then they would submit the shot that Matt critiques.
Oh yeah, totally. And then, prepare to have your asshole fucking destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do if, like...
In a good way, though. In a good way.
What if you do if, like, fucking... Plastic Action was like, I want to be critiqued. Like, what can you say to play like a Plastic Action?
Nothing, and that's the point. Like, I don't want it to seem like I'd go out of my way to be a dick. That's not the point. But if you send me a shot and you're like, yo, I want your honest opinion, I'm gonna give it. Yeah. Oh fuck, that's strong words.
Artist commentary.
Yeah, something like that. Like, if you want my honest opinion, I will give it to you, because I don't think there's a lot of people that are fully honest on Instagram, especially in toy photography. Trust me. But anyways, a few mentions real quick. This one was very flattering. It comes from a Noah Cray. I don't even know if he listens to a show or if he's just a fan of HeywoodPop, but whatever. Fucking HeywoodPop. Within the Star Wars Time show, it all works out. But this dude motherfucking drew, made a painting of one of my toy photography shots.
Yeah, I remember you showing that to me. That's
incredible. Right, and I've seen this done before for other people, and I've always been a little jealous. I was like, man, I'd love someone to do that. So Noah Cray, thank you. You checked off a little bucket list moment there for me. I do appreciate it. It was one of my recent Hot Toys crate Luke shots.
Yeah, it's a good one. It looks really fucking good.
Another one here. I love this just because this fan is clearly in the pack of assholes. They know how to communicate. This is Star Wars Toys 73. But immediately must have heard the episode where we were wondering if we were international. But here is the intro, and this is what hooked me right here. This is why I love this person. You ball bags. That's the opening.
There we go.
You ball bags. Of course you have international listeners. I'm from Australia.
A lot of
that place that was on fire, then flooded, and now straining under the great Dunny paper shortage of 2020.
Oh, man.
I love you two jerk-offs, and I love the show. That is excellent.
I love it.
You know what I'm talking about? Those are the type of people that would listen to the Star Wars Time show.
It's beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful.
It is an uncivilized podcast indeed. There's no doubt about it. That is the type of fan feedback I like to get. And then finally, this is from Matt Jessup. He's big in the Funko Pop photography community, but he gave us appreciate this a lot, gentlemen. Cool of you to honor the Funko picks amongst all the Star Wars greatness you feature. You ought to get some merch, shirts, decals. I'd always be good for something like that. Thanks again. Be well. Well, Matt, you've heard my stance on that shit. Until I feel we're actually popular, legit popular, I would never ask people to buy shit.
Foist our wares on somebody.
Right. Nick did say if we hit 5,000, he's going to get some hats, and we'll probably make you buy that type of shit. So we've already gone against our word. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel we're big enough yet. So that's up to you and the rest of the other assholes out there, the asshole pack of the Star Wars Time show. To spread. Let's go.
I feel like the perfect piece of merch for us, not just because of what's going on right now, but because of how we have branded ourselves, would be toilet paper with the Star Wars Time logo printed on the printed on it.
Oh, yeah. There are people that would probably like to wipe our faces in their shit. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. That's how these heathens think that listen to the show.
Oh, yeah. Especially once we start doing the artist critiques, then they'll really want to put Matt all over there.
Oh, yeah. Fucking burn my house down.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's in all seriousness, if you do listen to the show a lot, you want to interact, chime in on the socials, hit us up. We're predominantly on IG, but I know Nick kind of scans Facebook. Twitter at this point's mostly dead for us. We just need to buy a bunch of bots so we don't look silly over there.
I know, right? We just got to up the follower count so all of the...
So if you ever see our Twitter followers go up drastically, we definitely paid for them, and we're not going to hide that.
Yeah, that is coming straight from a Taiwanese click farm or whatever.
Russian bot farm. We'll be trolling fuckers on Facebook. Well, we'll be like one of the biggest fucking political bot hotbeds out there with all our fucking bots.
Yeah.
We fucking... Oh, fuck. All right, man, do it. Let's get into that top 5. Who did you pick? And then I can't wait to see what I have to do to myself.
The top 5 this week. This is a very good top 5. It's funny because I was going through and there was a ton of good shit here. And at one point, I had 2 or 3 pictures open from the same artist. I was like, oh, man. Something has gone awry here. I have to close some of these out and do a little bit of curation. Because usually, I don't even look at...
That's my bad, man. But I also blame it on the fucking assholes. Because they're putting out so much good work that I am now compelled to... Because I used to have a system where if you got shared a week prior, you probably weren't getting shared again because I was going to find something. These days, you fuckers are putting out so much quality.
It is, yeah.
It's. I mean, this is why my queue is forever 50+.
Yeah.
So there's some people are like, oh, hey, it's been a while. Well, hey, chill the fuck out. I have a large archive of shots to share, man. It goes back like a week or two at this point.
Yeah.
So
You know.
calm down, but let's go. We need new blood in there. I do see new blood every day, but with more and more hashtag Star Wars Time Show, tag at Star Wars Time Show.
And we have some, I think we have one new member of the top 5 this week, so we'll get to it. But first off, we're starting out with at Frangle Art on Instagram. We found this guy, I think it was late last year, and he just does some fucking fantastic killer vector art, like, some digital painting, vector artwork on,
I mean, it looks like an animation cell, like literally a cut strip of a Clone Wars animation. We're looking at Captain Rex with his sexy white blonde hair. He's got his helmet under his arm. It looks like he's on a Star Destroyer somewhere.
This is interesting because what it looks like Frangle did was like he made Rex and then he photoshopped Rex almost like a semi-digirama type of deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Nick. Nick is learning all the technique names and probably the techniques. At one point in time, it will just subconsciously start doing toy photography.
It may happen. I'll wake
you
up.
I was just about to say. I was like, you know what? This is almost a digital digirama.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool what Frangle pulled off.
But that's what makes the drawing pop so much. It is that black hard line that frames Rex. It does still kind of make it feel like it still is an animated cell.
Yep. And I mean, this looks like something that would come almost straight out of like Galaxy of Adventures shorts on Star Wars Kids YouTube. So.
No, this is beautiful. This guy, again, this is someone that every week or anytime he puts out something Star Wars, it's more than likely going to go in the folder and probably going to get shared.
Yeah, I mean, if you just go on Frangle's page, huge following already, and he's got a ton of different focuses. A lot of stuff around Black Widow has been his recent stuff. So Black Widow, you see a lot of the Phoenix Squadron guys, Thrawn. You get to see a lot of different types.
I love the Thrawn. The Thrawn was a toss up between Rex and Thrawn, I think, with who I was going to share.
Yeah, I mean both of them are fantastic, but I really do think that like given Rex's look and then like his popularity right now because of Clone Wars,
see. That's what I was thinking too, buddy.
There we go. We're on the same wavelength here. Matt and I are connected.
That's why it happens.
Connected through the Force. So at Frangle Art, Frangle Art on Instagram. Fantastic follow. The dude is an absolute magician when it comes to digital painting, vector art, whatever you want to call it. We're too stupid to understand it, but Frangle does it incredibly.
But we're not dumb enough to understand it looks badass.
Exactly. That's all we need to know is how cool it looks. So earlier, right before we kicked it off, I said when I was picking the top 5, I had a couple of pictures open from the same guy, and it was from our good friend here in the top 5, Triple P, Papa Palpatine Photography, and he had 2 killers this week. One of them was of the Mando kind of holding his gun up to.
Oh my god, dude! But he's never ending. The guy is a never ending factory of killer Star Wars toy photography. Any genre he shoots is just excellent. But I don't know where the guy gets the time to do all this because look at this setup. Like the one we're talking about Triple P's recent battle droid shot. And anyone that has shot these motherfuckers know that they're kind of cunty. Right? Like look how skinny their little ass legs are.
Yeah.
I mean, he clearly has the benefit of some mud here to kind of stick him in. But just getting them all lined up. And I do believe Papa doesn't create layers here, meaning this is all the same figure, right, Nick? Like he just sets them up in different spots and then wipes away parts of one layer to expose the other. I think he has all these fucking figures. He sets them all up. He creates the poses. I mean, he's got the new heavy B1s in there with their big-ass guns. Yep. And they're it's hard to make B1s look badass, and this shot from Papa achieves that.
Yeah, that was primarily my reason for picking this one over Mando is because we've seen a ton of great Mando shots. Like, they all look good. But it is like
it's honestly it's hard to fuck up a Mando shot.
Yeah,
it really is.
But like
it's a great looking figure, and the character's even better.
With B1s, like you mentioned, like they're inherently goofy fodder for the Star Wars prequels.
I have come to love the B1. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean they're fun characters.
I do love it as a character. I love Roger from Freemaker.
Adventures.
That's probably why I like the B1 so much. But
he,
they are hard to look cool.
Yeah.
And these look fucking rad.
Yeah, like I would be actually afraid if this squadron of B1s rolled up on me. Like usually I'd just be like, oh my god, you could like fucking throw boba balls at these and they would kill them.
Even their fucking eyes are lit up all red. I mean,
Yeah.
they look like they have Spider-Man's Terminator mode enabled or whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude. So. Papa really was able to take B1 battle droids and make them look bad fucking ass.
Excellent.
And that's just Papa for you. So
it's what he does, though. I mean, it's literally what he does.
Yeah. At Papa_Palpatine_photography. I don't know if there's anybody listening who's not following this guy already. He's an absolute genius. 22,000 followers plus. So
well, Nick, I mean, hopefully there are a bunch of new people.
Yes, we need the new listeners. All of you motherfuckers are inside now. Y'all are all quarantined. There is no reason for you to not be listening. What else is there to do? So yeah,
you've already blown through everything on Netflix, Disney Plus. You know you've done it.
Yeah. So tune in. There's over 100 episodes of the Star Wars Time show proper now on StarWarsTime.net. Go tune in. Go start from episode 1.
Oh, yeah, the old ones, I need to delete those so we quit getting charged money for it on Amazon.
We'll wipe those out. They're still on YouTube.
That's a lot of storage to delete there. Oh, yeah, all the YouTube shit's still there.
Still on YouTube, so go check it out there. So Papa Palpatine Photography, a staple of the top 5, a staple of the Star Wars Time show, and a good friend of the show. Thank you, Papa. Next up is our new entry to the top 5. And this shot here, I mean, I know I've seen this shot. I've seen this figure before. You used this before. This is a tormented Anakin Skywalker from Wretched Hive.
This is the best use of that goofy ass face. And next, we're talking about the shots from Wretched Hive, like Nick said, but the figure is the Figure Arts Anakin with the screaming face.
Yeah.
The one that Nick made me talk about the last time he made me break down a shot.
Yes, exactly.
It's that same fucking goofy face, where I had mine going like, ah! It looks like he's got to take a shit or he's in the process of dropping a huge turd. But Wretched actually uses it artfully, and you've got Vader behind him, kind of out of focus. You got a nice mix of blue and red light there. You got some atmosphere. It looks like he added some soft proofing on the post mix here. It's a fantastic shot of Anakin's duality. You got Anakin, and then obviously his walking prison in his Vader armor behind him.
I love that. The walking prison. I love that. Yeah.
And the scream on his face and the hand up on his head, just that is what Anakin feels like every moment in his suit, and that's what the comic books do so well. They're the only things that really give you a peek into the mind of Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader, and that's exactly what he feels every fucking second of his life.
Yeah, and
that torment and pain and anguish, and that's what Wretched Hive fucking nailed here. I mean, nailed it. And I thought Wretched was tagging us before. He wasn't. I remind him of that because I think he hit up HeywoodPop. Was like, hey man, your shit's looking pretty good. I said, wow, that's nice, thanks. I think it sucks. I was like, I love your fucking work, man. Why aren't you tagging Star Wars Time show? So he's doing it now, but I mean, this shot is, I love this because
you basically called out everything. It's a very, in my mind, no toy photography is simple, but like, if you look at this shot, you could say like, it's a pretty simplistic shot, but what really makes it is the meaning behind it, and like
exactly, it's artfully done. I mean, there's not a lot of trickery here. I mean, hell, this more than likely is in a dark room with a black background. You probably have the lights to the left of the figures. The white light behind Vader. It looks like a red light closer to Anakin, and I'm guessing a blue light on the right side. And then there's possibly some atmosphere aerosol going on here.
Yeah.
And then what makes it look even softer is I'm assuming Wretched Hive put on some soft proofing in post.
Yeah, I mean it's
it's fucking a beautiful shot that is about a horrific thing.
Yeah, exactly. So fantastic representation of Anakin
I was
Skywalker.
describing it very nice until I ended with
thing. Yeah. You know, sometimes you can't find all those words after two hours and 15 minutes of talking.
Douche. Yeah.
You know, words are tough sometimes, but
blah 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 blah. Art speak. Thing.
At wretched.hive on Instagram. Go give this man a follow.
Excellent follow. I mean, it's another one. Pretty much every shot is A-OK.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a really fucking awesome heavy Mando shot on there as well recently, so give him a follow. Good shit. Good shit all around. Next up is our good buddy South P24, and he makes it into the top 5 with a really fucking cool
Hell yeah.
Phoenix Squadron shot. Minus Zeb. Who knows where Zeb is? But we got Kanan.
And that's what I think that's why South P did the shot. I mean, his caption was an incomplete team, but still a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly.
So.
You know, sometimes people will you have to run an incomplete Phoenix Squadron and Squigo because you can only have 5 per team.
No, that is very true. Maybe that's the method Hasbro employed when they figured out who they're going to pick. But
yeah, so
it does seem odd to leave out the full-on hairy-looking purple sort of Wookiee alien.
Yeah, exactly. But we still have Hera. We still have Kanan. We have Sabine with helmet on, and we have Ezra and Chopper there as well. And what are they doing? They're fucking taking on a squadron of stormtroopers.
Yeah, it's like a poster shot.
It is.
Ezra's kind of suspended in midair. You got the lovers together with my man Chop. You got Sabine essentially blowtorching motherfuckers, blasting dudes in the face. It's kind of like that pose, like bam, we're Phoenix Squad.
Yeah, it is. It's like if there was a Rebels movie poster, this would be it. Like you have Zeb in there somewhere.
If there was a Star Wars version of Voltron, this is what they would look like before they all jump into their individual vehicles and form the singular unit.
Yeah.
You know, Mecha Ghost.
Oh, dude, that would be sick. I think that would.
They did make Star Wars Transformers at one point in time.
Oh my! I was not.
Like I have a Millennium Falcon that turns into a fucking robot upstairs.
That's
like
pretty
an officially licensed deal. It's not like some bullshit bootleg. Yeah, no, I did like what Paul did here at the lineup. I do love that squad shot, as I call it.
Yeah,
it's just good posing there. Nice capture.
Beautiful. So at SouthP24 on Instagram, reppin' Star Wars Rebels, reppin' Phoenix Squadron. Get on it. Give them a follow. Good stuff. All right. Last in the top 5 for this week before we get to
this is nice. I like this.
Yeah, our Haywood Pop shot breakdown right after this. We got Robles Scott, ROBLES SCOTT.
Oh, you motherfucker! I saw the tip of my shot for the first time.
So what we have here for Robles Scott is we got the heavy Mando standing on a pile of bodies, fucking holding his chain gun and just ripping through bitches. I love this shot. I love his captions too. Pile of junk. Like
I love it. Yeah, that's exactly what Heavy would say too. Because that guy, you know, he didn't mince words with our boy Din. He just kind of lets people know how he feels, and he definitely let these bucketheads know how he felt. I do. And I'm not going to lie, and people have done this, getting those bodies to pile up like that is no easy task.
Yeah.
Because these still are pretty rigid pieces of plastic, so you have to bend those joints the way they bend and almost puzzle piece these fuckers together to pile them like that. So that to me is impressive posing.
Yeah,
if he got the fucker to stand on them with nothing else, that's also a very solid skill that toy photographers have in the balance, you know, using the force to balance these little cocksuckers without using wires that you have to worry about wiping or tack or this, that, and the other thing.
I was going to ask if you think he got that, because if Robles Scott was able to do that, that is very impressive.
Because look, I think he's using the grenade pouch kind of as like a little wedge on the forward foot.
Yeah, I could see that. I saw that.
Those are little tricks. But even Nick, that could be enough with potentially his chain gun ammo kind of being a prop on the Purge Trooper.
Yeah.
These are tricks that could be enough to keep him in place without a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. So, Robles, if you're listening, let us know. Did you actually get that to stand up there, or did you use some behind the scenes trickery to
Right.
to you know.
I'm going with this is a motherfucking freestanding heavy.
That makes it
which is impressive.
all the more impressive.
It's my I think it's everyone's favorite way to do it because you eliminate so much post nonsense. Making sure you can wipe the wire and not completely smudge up the background that someone's gonna be like, yeah, clearly there was shit holding that up. I don't know. I really like the shot. I like the tone. I like how it's all darkened out. What the fuck's that called again on the sides? Damn it.
Feathering?
Why am I? No. I'm drawing a blank on this one. Oh, it's a vignette.
Okay, yeah.
It's vignetted. I like that. So it's kind of like the light is solely focused on the heavy, and it even gets darker down there towards the bodies. But I'm telling you, that body pileup is impressive.
Yeah.
And I still don't have a fucking purge trooper, and it pisses me off.
Gotta get on one. Gotta get one of those.
I fucked up. I mean, I even bought Fallen Order, but I got it digitally, and I didn't get it at GameStop because I'm an asshole. I was like, oh, I'll be able to get the figure because that's how you got the figure. You had to buy the fucking game.
You had to buy the physical game? Man.
But I thought the figure would just be out, and nope.
That sucks. You have to get it on the scout market, I guess.
Fuck that up.
If anybody has an extra purge trooper, you know who is looking for one? HeywoodPop. Hit him up. But
Thank you.
At Robles Scott, ROBLESSCOTT on Instagram. Beautiful shot. Putting the heavy Mando where he likes to be, on a pile of junk bodies. So good job. That's the end of the top 5 this week. But like we said, it is a Haywood Pop shot breakdown day.
And it really is a Haywood pop shot.
It is. It's a pop shot. Last one we did was the Anakin figure art figure that Wretched Hive used up above. But this time we're going into Matt's past.
Oh shit! This is just only a year old.
February 2019. Yeah, so this is a little bit older than a year.
All right.
So tell us what we're seeing here, Matt. What are we seeing, and how did you pull this off?
You're seeing in my opinion now, a poor Digirama shot, a very poor Digirama shot of the Funko Pop vehicle of Kylo Ren sitting in his, whatever, the Interceptor, whatever he was driving in TLJ. Yeah, the silencer.
TIE silencer, yeah.
And like the backdrop, it's all these fucking explosions and just muddy, mushy looking shit. You can't even tell what it is. I mean, it just looks like a bunch of vomit or like a highlighter. It's terrible. Like you tell, what the fuck is that? Are those fireworks?
I was gonna ask you, is that so? It is a Digirama, so it's not actual fireworks in the background.
Yes, you know what it is. I know what it is.
Okay, so is this where the ship was blowing up after he blew up Leia's
right after he makes his strafing run? Like it's a very poor pixelated background for some reason. Oh, I know what it was. It's because the fucking ship, the actual ship from the movie, was in it.
Oh, yeah, so you were trying to obscure it.
Yeah, and I had a hard time wiping it out. And you can even see, like, the janky lines, look at Kylo's head.
Okay.
Do you see those dark lines, like, coming out of his ears? Like, cutting through the explosion a bit?
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so those are, like, very not good wipe marks. Like, me using an in-painting tool to try to wipe shit out.
Okay.
Like, that's where the ship would have been. So, yeah,
I
mean, the background.
See, though. That's hard to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you know what you're doing, you'd be like, "This is fucking stupid." And you can even see it. Like, look where so this thing has a clear stand, and I wiped it too. But look at the base of the picture.
Okay.
See how tiled the explosion looks there?
Okay. I see what you're saying, yeah.
Like, it's basically the same part of the image, just kept getting cloned over and over to overwrite the nonsense.
But
so it looks terrible. But the background, like I blew it out with, it looks like some sort of maybe split toning or something in whatever people would call Photoshop. But look, I mean, look at the coloring. I mean, there's no black sky. You can't even tell they're in space. It's like fucking orange up there in the corner, dude.
But what you've captured is an accurate representation of an explosion.
With that, in my mind, you're right. Like that, this is essentially the point where Nick is treating me like a kindergartner, and I just showed him a picture with really janky circles and crooked stick figure hands. He's like, well, hey, you did your best. And
But like the
okay.
lighting on the ship and on Kylo, is that all practical lighting?
All right, so yeah, again, this little figure is sitting right in front of my 26-inch iMac.
Okay.
So the picture in the back would be that the ship exploding, the dreadnought, or no, the Radis getting blasted. And then the Funko Pop would have been sitting on a box in front of it. And then to kind of match the light of what I thought would be the explosion behind them, I had 2 orange lights to the side, as well as an overhead light to kind of give the top of his head, that hair, that white shine there.
Yeah. I think that looks good. I think the lighting of the figure and everything like that looks good.
Yeah, sometimes I'm all right with matching the lighting. It's just my concepts are fucking terrible. They're so basic and stupid. Like, I mean, this is just moron stuff to me. I was like, I'm just sit him in front of an explosion. It'll look like he's flying away. I mean, it looks like he's just, it almost looks like I copy and pasted Kylo out and dropped him onto a background. And it's not an actual picture of a figure with a background.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of 3D going on here.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a very basic figure, like we've been talking about with Pops for a long time. Like, there's not a lot you can do with him. The Pop is how you see it, and you just have to make it work with whatever you want to do with it.
All you can do is twist his head. That's about it. You see a little screw there? That's all you get on this little fuck.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. I mean, those were my Pop days. I mean, even my figure shots are pretty basic like this sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought it was a fun shot. It caught my eye when I was scrolling through your feed.
Probably because it's so fucking bright.
It is. It's very bright. It is very bright. But I thought it was a fun shot. It's a cool little Kylo shot. And also, I didn't know that this whole deal was one figure. I thought that you may have taken. I didn't know that they had the Kylo attached to the silencer.
He's glued in there and everything. Yeah,
okay,
that's a whole thing. And then, like I said, there'd be clear prongs coming off the bottom as a stand.
Yeah. So it was a fun little picture here, and it does kind of fit that representation of Kylo after his mother's ship is blown up and Leia's sucked out into space in TLJ.
Yeah, he's pulling away. He's like, wee.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, the shit I see people do with Pops now, there are times where because I used to, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I talk a lot of shit about myself, but there'd be times I'd be like, damn, I'm fucking good at this. Like, I know that there's other people out there probably listening like, damn, I'm good at this. Trust me, you're probably not as good as you think.
Or, give yourself a little credit every now and then. You don't have to shit on yourself all the time.
Yeah, don't be it's not healthy. Like, what I do is not healthy. Don't go as far Eeyore as me. But trust me, there are some Pop shots where I put out, be like, I am hot fucking shit.
Dude, there was one.
These motherfuckers just line up their Pops. They ain't got nothing on this. And now I look at some of my Pop work. I'm like, ooh boy, did I have an inflated ego with my Pop shots?
You definitely have some very good pop work in your repertoire. Who knows?
Here and there.
Maybe we'll see another one in 2 weeks when we
yeah, dude, have at it. I like this. I mean, the further back in my portfolio you go, the angrier and more cynical I'll get. So
yeah, this was still a 2019 shot. I have not got back.
But I probably, not gonna lie, I probably took this shot towards the end of 2017. Because again, I mean, when TLJ came out in 2017, actually, I probably did take this when the movie came out.
Yeah.
Or shortly after.
So I mean, you're right. You are getting towards that's
Which, by the way, I am caught up on my backlog for the first time in 4 years, ever since I started this hobby.
Holy shit.
But here's the kicker and why I suck as a person. Now I have extreme pressure to get to shooting again. Because I haven't had a shoot in probably a month.
Hey, you know what? You have reason to not now. I mean, look, as long as you have content that you're putting out, give yourself a breather. Pat yourself on the back.
Well, dude, IG, it's got me all worked up. It really patted my ego yet again in 2020. For 6 weeks, I felt like, wow, people like me. IG likes me. My stuff's going places. But the last month, I've been in jail all over again. So you're right. I probably should just not care. But I feel like now it's like, oh, dude.
Gotta
when
get
when
back.
IG liked you, you're posting every day at before 9 a.m. East and then at 10 p.m. East. Maybe it thought you were on a schedule. Now that you're off it, you missed on vacation. It's penalizing you. You're like this is how fucking crazy IG has me.
I'll see.
So you're right. Maybe I should just let my backlog go, share all the shots I have processed. I still have like a week's worth I could probably share. And then just see if I could handle not having a shot to share for a week straight.
Based off of, I'm just scrolling through your feed. Based off of the trend that I'm seeing here, you have a muse that always gets good traction. Do you know what it is?
What, Mando?
No, it's JKR. Every time.
Oh yeah.
Every time
he's
you
kinda
post a
hot right
JKR
now. Yeah,
shot, it's like it gets more than the ones around.
Yeah, you're
it.
right. You're right. I don't know. IG has ruined a lot of this hobby for me. And I know people have said, hey, man, don't worry about it. You're all right. It's not about the likes and shit. You're all full of shit. It is.
You're still growing as a photographer. That's what may be
100%,
an interesting
100%.
What may be an
100%.
interesting segment, a wrinkle to the segment that Jared, that Jared suggested is that we get a guest, critiquer on some of Matt's recent work. We get somebody like Jared, or we get somebody
I don't
like
know if I want these assholes
Papa.
shit talking my stuff. Yeah.
just some
Fuck that.
some artistic critiques on some recent HeywoodPop shots from bad some work more or less from Black Series 1/6, all of these killers, Sir Dork, Papa, everything. Just that could be another interesting wrinkle that we could explore as an additional segment to the top 5. But for now, we have closed out the top
I'm gonna
5.
put that in Nick's not gonna fucking happen section with Greg's top 5 fan submission.
There we
thing.
go. Yeah, that could be a
And it's
scrapped idea.
It's not even like I have thin skin. I could care less. I like to suck.
Now you got to the heart of it, everybody.
Don't worry. My stunt buddy friend, who I'm going to get on the show at some point this year if we don't all die, he kicks me in the teeth plenty with my toy photography. I mean, this guy treats me like I'm one of his stunt flunkies on set. He just comes like it's not that there's no like people skills at all. It's just like, dude, why the fuck would you not do this and this and this? It sucks like this. It could have been way better. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I fucking blow.
It's like, thanks, man. Thanks for your opinion.
I'm good. I can take it. Although when he does it, I get fucking pissed, and he knows it. He's like, man, you're so fucking sensitive. It's like it's not even that. It's just you. There's something about you, motherfucker. You drive me nuts. But as Nick said, we have wrapped, as expected, 220 with my Gabby ass back in the chair. I mean, there's no. I'll applaud you guys. You did an hour and a half almost.
We did,
think,
yeah,
so.
we did. Right at.
That's not bad. So that means if all 3 of us did this, we would be at a 4-hour show. It essentially would be the Stern Show at that point in time.
Yeah, exactly.
We just need to get someone to work what Fred does with all the sound effects. And I'm telling you, if I could figure that out, I would start doing that right now because I think that would definitely set us apart from other podcasts.
A soundboard.
We'd probably get sued and this, that, and the other thing. But it is something I've been thinking about. If I can figure out a way to get it into GarageBand without turning in editing into a complete nightmare, I may do it. But for now, we must say goodbye. I need to go eat. It's getting late here in the East. It's COVID time. Lockdown. Speaking of being locked down, speaking of, right? There's an inside joke for the Star Wars Time Show faithful. But anyways, people, if you are locked down, you need something to do, or you know someone that is locked down and they need something to do, and they happen to like Star Wars, guess what? You have the greatest gift you could give them during a quarantine, and that is the gift of the Star Wars Time Show. And all you have to do to give them this gift is go to StarWarsTime.net, or just tell them, hey, have you ever heard about StarWarsTime.net? No? Well, why don't you check it out? And when they check it out, they'll find the subscribe to podcast link in the top right. And then they can pick whatever platform they want, including YouTube, which you can also get to from StarWarsTime.net. And once you're subscribed, the best way to spread this thing, unlike COVID, is to social distance yourself by sharing it through Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Hell, get on YouTube and make a video about it. Start spreading the Star Wars Time Show around. If people are going to be locked up, they need to be entertained, or they at least need to be made more stupid. And you can accomplish that by giving them the Star Wars Time Show experience, right? There's always time for Star Wars time, even during a pandemic. We'll give you something to do, if anything else, or at least someone else to hate in this world, right? We all need somebody to hate. Why not hate Matt and Nick from the Star Wars Time Show? Just remember, though, if you listen to the show, the Force will be with you always.